making the junior high sheet right now.
Perfect. I've got the junior high, don't I? I've got the junior high wrestlers right here. Right? You're talking about junior high girls.
Junior high girls.
When are they going?
making certain Guthrie will be on. Keep me honest. As much as possible.
Any shout outs?
No. It's on the Guthrie Network. Merry Christmas from the ref. Rick wants to say Merry Christmas to all the referees. 6 o'clock.
And your first match of the night in weight class 80, we got Landon Bohr, and for your Blue Jays, Hudson Green.
Folks, we are at action. Junior high wrestling duel. Choctaw has come to town to wrestle the Guthrie Bluejays, and the Yellowjackets find themselves in trouble here in the first match. Guthrie's Hudson Green looking for the fall against Landon Bohr, and he is successful there as the Bluejays pick up 6 points to start this duel off. We're going to move on to 86 pounds. 86 pounds, Tucker Bryson is going to wrestle for the Yellowjackets, the Blue Jays, Levi Potter. Takedown here by Bryson. As Levi Potter finds himself on bottom, Tucker's got a half now. He's going to run that half. Running it hard. Levi's got to fight here and try to get that arm that's around the head. He's got to try to get that arm off and get his arm back through, but Tucker's pushing hard here, trying to get that shoulder. Now he's got the arm. Levi's got his arm inside now. That helps. He's getting his shoulder down. He's going to have to use it to post. That's a fall there. Tight hold there by Tucker. And this duel is kicking off quickly. 2 falls to start. And it looks like at 92 pounds and 98 pounds, Guthrie's going to forfeit both of these matches. We'll see what happens out here at the duel. Looks like Choctaw's going to take a forfeit. That's going to be 6 for them. 6 more for them, and then it looks like at 98 pounds, Wyatt. So Fletcher Cochran at 92 takes the forfeit for Choctaw. And now Wyatt Williams at 98 pounds is also going to take a forfeit for Choctaw. And then we are going to be back to action. We'll see him work his way to the camera. Wave hi to your mother as you pick up the win here.
And at 106 for Choctaw, Cale McGee.
And now we're going to get our third matchup of the night.
Gerard.
Ryan Gerard of Guthrie is going to take on Cale McGee. As we get kicked off here, both guys tying up. McGee looks like he's got the inside ties, getting down low. Shoots in on a single leg to the right side. Big time sprawl here by Ryan Gerard. Heavy hips. He's digging the underhook here. He's getting space. He's getting long. He's got a cradle hooked up on the far side. He's got it tipped up. That's 3 points for the takedown. Got a couple swipes. I'm not sure if he's going to get any near fall, though. I did see one. If he gets two, he'll get some more points here. But Ryan now forcing this cradle hard. There he's got more near fall. Only a 1 count. Still looks like we just got a couple different 1 counts, but never a 2 count. So no points for near fall yet, but Ryan Gerard still has this locked up. And Cale McGee fighting hard on bottom. Did a good job not giving up any near fall. That was a very tight hold. That cradle would have pinned most guys, and McGee was able to get off his back twice and break that lock. Now he's looking for a reversal on Gerard on the edge. He's looking for this reversal. Gerard's in trouble. That's going to be a 2-point reversal for Cale McGee. Ryan Gerard finds himself on bottom now. McGee very crafty there. Now he's got a chicken wing pulled up almost immediately. Chicken wing bar arm. Choctaw did a good job with this very ride last year when we went to Choctaw to wrestle them. So I would imagine they're going to stick with that tonight. He's got that chicken wing still locked up. Gerard's locking his hands, trying to pull it off. But that chicken wing remains as Cale McGee here, under 20 seconds, is trying to work for near fall. Gerard's got to do what he can. One thing about this chicken wing, you got to fight hard to not allow it to get hooked up. Once it's hooked up, it's a lot of trouble. Now he's transitioning to a hammer lock. Now he's running the Air Force out front. He's got that hook. He's going to have to hurry if he wants near fall, but this is so tight. 2 seconds to go. From that hammerlock to an Air Force, that is as tight as they get, and that's a pin for Cale McGee for Choctaw. That's going to put them up 6 more points as we move on to 112 pounds for the junior high.
And at 112 pounds for Choctaw.
Choctaw is going to bring out Easton Norris. Blue Jays are going to run out Zane Seifert. Choctaw out to an early lead. It's been all pins and forfeits so far. 6 points apiece for everyone. And now Zane Seifert out here on a cradle of his own. He gets the 3-point takedown. He's got the near fall locked in. That's going to be 4 more additional points. No, he's got 2. He got a 2 count there. Boy, Easton's doing a good job of keeping his shoulders up with this cradle. Zane is working hard for the pin, and he's struggling to get near fall, but there's the pin. Zane Seifert puts 6 more points on the board for the Blue Jays in this very quick and back-and-forth duel. It's been a lively one tonight. We're going to move on to 119 pounds in this junior high kickoff.
119 pounds for Choctaw.
Aiden Wagner's going to wrestle for Choctaw. Garrett Reese is going to come out and wrestle for the Blue Jays. As we kick it off, heavy tie here by Reese. He's wrestling hard and banging hard. He gets caught underneath in a snap down, but he's back up. Digging back inside is Wagner. Snap down by Wagner. Reese caught underneath, but he's back to his feet. These guys are rocking and rolling. Heavy hand ties, heavy hand fights here. Both these guys getting after it. Look for somebody to disappear underneath and take a shot. Good wrist tie snap by McGee. And Reese doing a nice job fighting back here. Snap down, tries to go behind. But Wagner able to follow. Now he's got the snap down of his own. He's trying to get that front headlock. Man, heavy hand fight here. This first minute has been all hand fights. Both guys just banging and tugging on that head. A lot of good action in here with these hand fights. A lot of head fighting, too. These guys are both fighting for head position. Snap down underneath, go behind by McGee. That's going to be 3 points takedown for Choctaw. As Aiden Wagner strikes first, gets right to that inside bar arm, and now he's running up a tilt from between the legs. Got that head stuffed. Garrett Reese did a good job fighting off that, but now he's getting an inside cradle. McGee's got the cradle hooked up, and he's got Reese on his back now with that half. He's turned that cradle into a half as he transitions. He's keeping the same hold. He's got the lock back for the cradle. And Reese is down here fighting hard. McGee's got 4 points near fall for that back exchange. That's going to put him up 7-0. With a takedown and near fall. We're now under 20 seconds in the first period. A lot of action so far for these young junior high wrestlers. As Choctaw's Aiden Wagner goes to work on top once he gets on top. Garrett Reese stuck underneath for now. That bar arm ride Choctaw has been working all night on the Blue Jays. These first 4 or 5 matches, Choctaw got on top, went right to that bar arm and went to work. And we're seeing much more of that here. It's going to be Choctaw's choice. Aiden Wagner goes down. Garrett Reese is going to be on top as we start the second period. Choctaw currently leads this duel 24-12 as we are not quite halfway into it. Quite a back and forth contest. It's been pretty fun here. Nice inside Peterson roll. Wagner gets a little bit too high, and Garrett Reese able to pull that over. He's got that Peterson roll. Now 2-point reversal secured, and it's still counting near fall. Looks like he's going to get all 4. Reese is in all kinds of trouble down here. He's going to have to fight this off. Fighting hard here, trying to put the hand over his face, but wow, Garrett Reese did a nice job fighting off his back here. Aiden Wagner had every intention of finishing this match with a pin. Wagner now tries the half. He's got the spiral ride now, getting a half and a spiral ride. Now he goes right back to that inside bar arm. Again, if that inside bar arm, when you take the post away, now you got to try to get up without the balance of the post. There's a cradle from the outside step. But Reese doing a good job fighting on bottom. Now he's got wrist control. He turned the wrong way. Once he got it, he should have turned to his right, but he turned to his left. He's still trying to get out here. He's got him loose. He's on the edge. He's got to try to get out here. Nice job by Garrett Reese. Just feeling that position on the edge and comes back in bounds to get away. And Aiden Wagner scored a lot of points from the top position. Over half his points from the top position, getting near fall. So he'd like to get back there, and Garrett Reese has got to battle back now here in the third period. The coaches are going to put him neutral. So he's going to go back on his feet, down 1 point to 13 against Choctaw's Cale McGee. And now they go back into these heavy ties. Tries a snap down of his own. Working hard here, trying to get behind, trying to snap down, go behind. Now he's in on a double leg. McGee, big time double leg. Almost went for a half there, but didn't. And that's going to conclude 16-1. That's going to be a technical fall. That's 5 points going to Choctaw. As Wagner picks up the win. Moving on to 126 pounds.
And at 26 pounds,
Choctaw's going to wrestle Bradley Davis.
And for your Blue Jays,
Bradley Davies, I'm sorry. And he's going to be taking on Briston Britton. Briston Britton for the Blue Jays on bottom currently. Getting stacked up here at 119 pounds. I'm sorry, 126 pounds. That's going to be a fall for Bradley Davies. And that's going to be 6 more for Choctaw. 132 pounds will be our next match.
And for 132 pounds, we got Carson.
We're going to see Karsten Cagle.
And for your Blue Jays, Cade Carey.
He's going to take on the Blue Jays' Cade Carey. It's ought to be a good matchup here. Both these guys will be game. Cade Carey, no stranger to hard-fought matches. And I got a feeling Kristen Cagle has wrestled a match or two as well. This ought to be a good one. Both guys fighting here for hand position Inside ties by Clayton Carey. Now they go ear to ear. Tap and go. Goes for an arm spin. Holy smokes. Kristen Cagle goes for an arm spin. That's a sign of freestyle experience. So clearly a wrestler here. Doesn't get it. Cade Carey able to fight out of that. Able to get his hips back around in front so he didn't get loaded up and thrown. But Kristen Cagle went for everything. Double leg attempt here. Double leg by Cade Carey. Cagle able to roll through the first time. He's looking for a crotch lift and goes through the second time. Gets him strung out and sprawled out. Cagle now gets the 3 points. We saw that arm spin, then we saw that crotch lift in freestyle. That's used to score points as well. Did a good job. Now, if you notice, Choctaw right back on this bar arm chop to that inside arm. Going for that stuff in that head. He's got him caught here. Not good for Cade. He's got his right shoulder up on the inside. He kicks back. Good night. They've been working on this all night. We've seen it a couple of times. And Cade Carey gets caught for the fall. 6 more points for the for the Yellow Jackets.
And at 140 pounds,
going to move on to 140 pounds.
And for your Blue Jays, Daniel Allen.
Jace Larman of Choctaw is going to be taken on Daniel Allen for the Blue Jays. It's on the second pitch. Getting to work here. Daniel Allen getting into some bigger wrestlers here for the junior high. Normally the smaller guys. But to these middleweights here for junior high, we're going to start to see some high school kids coming down. Some 9th graders still wrestling junior high as well. So some of these kids are starting to look a little older, a little more mature. It's going to be a takedown 3 by Jace Larman. He's going to work here on top. Daniel Allen of Guthrie's stuck on bottom. Larman with a tight waist, bar arm. Would not be surprised to see him pulling that inside bar arm and start working chicken wings and hammerlocks and cradles and halves. Choctaw has been dominant on top tonight. There's a nice half by Jace Larman as Daniel Allen fights hard here on bottom, but this half is tight. Going in here to this grapevine here as he splits those legs out. He's going to make it where he can't bridge up. Sign of a high-level wrestler there. Jace Larman did a nice job. And to his credit, Daniel Allen fought hard there to get off his back, just wasn't quite able to do so. Moving on to 155 pounds. The Yellow Jackets.
And at 155 pounds for the Yellow Jackets, Zeke Saberis. And for your Blue Jays, Malcolm Christian.
Zeke Saberis for Choctaw. He's going to be taking on Malcolm Christine of the Blue Jays. Choctaw with a quick takedown here. Malcolm reaching back for that head, ill-advised. But he's going to keep wrestling here, try to work his way out. As Scriberis gets on top, working that bar arm. Going for the half we saw at the last match. Now he's starting to put legs in on top. He doesn't have it in all the way, but it looks like he's going to start putting. He's going to go high thigh, working for that cradle on the far side. This is a tight cradle. He's walking the foot to the head, not the knee, which makes this a lot tighter. Knee to the head, he's going to walk it slow. Once he locks it, it's going to be super tight. And Christine's in a tough spot here. This is going to be a tough cradle to beat. Looks like he's wiggling his way out, though. Scarberis working hard. Referee didn't like the position of that knee. You saw his knee buckle out there, and that's just potentially dangerous. Referee will stop anything that looks like it's potentially dangerous, meaning potential for causing an injury. It's his responsibility to keep these guys safe, and Heath Gray's a phenomenal referee. wrestled for the better part of his life, and now he's jumped over to refereeing, and he is a phenomenal referee, one of the best in the state, if not the best in the state. We got a good one tonight, folks. And now Cabarrus finds himself in trouble here as Malcolm Christine finds his way up. He's just not out yet. He dove in on that double leg. Should have tried to get away probably. Just the sign of a young wrestler. Not quite sure what to do other than to hook it up and wrestle. That's exactly what he's doing. Malcolm's a very aggressive wrestler. What he lacks in knowledge, he makes up for in effort and hustle. Be exciting to see him in the next few years develop some skills and some, mat awareness, things like that. He'll be a good one, folks. Comes right out, grabs the wrist, did a very good job to face. Now he's just got to try to get away. Instead, he hooks back up and wrestles. And now Cabarrus is going to hook up that head in the whole cradle. Cabarrus still fighting the hands. He's doing a good job of fighting the hands. He gets his head control back. No escape, though. He's trying to wrestle here, and he needs to just try to get away. Cabarrus can just get away with hanging on here and riding out that clock. Great effort there by Malcolm Christine here on bottom. Did a good job fighting there. Cabarrus really showcasing his experience. You can tell this kid's wrestled quite a bit. And obviously this rich history that Choctaw Wrestling has. They've had a very tough Little League program, junior high, high school for many, many, many years. Just continues to feed quality athletes into their program, as Guthrie is starting to do the same. You can really see it here in this junior high program at Choctaw. Very, very tough. Good job here on top. He gets a little high. He's going to wing and try to step over. Cabarrus, very crafty here, tries to put a leg in. And Malcolm just needs to try to lock his hands in a side headlock. But now he's got a leg in. He's got legs in. He's going to try to go for this grapevine if he can sit back. But what a twisted position here. Cabarrus now going to try to lock up a cradle. If he does, he's going to get two. He's got two going for this reverse. This is tight. Very aware of where he's at on the mat. Cabarrus, very impressive here. Keeps racking up points. Christine just rolling through, kicking out. Tough kid on bottom here. Working to try to get those shoulders up. Almost saw a sigh of frustration out of Cabarrus, hoping he would lay down, but Christine not willing to do so. He's been fighting this whole match. He's got 10 seconds left to go. And Cabarrus just cannot put him away. I think he's used to probably guys laying down here. And Malcolm Christina Guthrie, tough as they come. Gives up 4 near fall. That's going to bring this match 13-0. Choice is going to go to Choctaw. Cabarrus with 1 takedown can get a tech fall. Tried hard for that pin, and Malcolm Christine not allowing that. Going to go on his feet here, hits a double leg. Time did good, but those heavy hips of Malcolm Christine, he just will not go away. He's going to try to make a match out of this. Now he's got the front headlock. Gave his leg back. Christine dumps him back to his bottom, catches him on his back. Now he can pick up a fall here and get 6 for his team, but if he gets up, it's going to be a tech fall, but that's a pin there. And that's going to be 6 more for Choctaw as we move on to 170 pounds. 170 pounds, legend Chambers is going to wrestle for Choctaw.
Legend Chambers, and for your Guthrie Bluejays, Dane Henson.
The Blue Jays are going to roll out Dane Henson as these two big boys hook it up. 170 pounds is close to the end of the road for junior high. Going to be 2 more matches after this, and this duel has rolled right through in record-breaking time. Dane Henson now sprawls on the double-leg legend. As Chamber steps over, he's going to belly down and try to come out, but Dane Henson gets back up. We got to watch that knee underneath there. It's in a terrible position. Dane flexible, and Chambers able to come out on top here. And Dane does a good job just bailing and getting back to his hands. Dane moving on bottom now, getting a good sit out. Chambers just with a nasty crossface. Looks like he's trying to get that crossface cradle back. Dane Henson, though, to his feet. doing a great job on bottom. This is how you're supposed to wrestle on bottom. You stay moving, you keep coming to your feet, keep hitting sit-outs. Dane's doing a great job controlling hands, not allowing Chambers to chop those arms and get those wrists. We've seen that all night from Choctaw. But Dane Henson wrestling good on bottom, not allowing Chambers to do so. Boy, Chambers aggressive on top, going for points. He's running that crossface hard, doing what he can. Now we're back to work here on bottom. Henson again, up and out. Well, he's up anyway, just not out. He get good set out, comes to his feet. He's got to keep moving, even though it gets frustrating. He's got to keep moving, even if he gets thrown down. He's got to keep going. As long as he's moving and going to his feet, Chambers can't get to work. But if he slows down, then Chambers is going to be able to start getting to work. Right now he's got that half hooked up. Dane's got to post his outside leg and keep coming up to his feet, or Chambers will start going to work with 30 seconds to go. Notice how Dane has slowed down now. Chambers able to lock up the wrist. Look for this roll through tilt. Henson did a good job rolling with it, taking the momentum to get back to his base. But see, now if he starts moving, as he starts moving, he's able to get up to his feet and start getting away. This is a great testament to bottom wrestling. If you set, they will hook things up and make things hard. If you move, all they can do is follow. We saw it early on. Chambers had to chase, but Chambers weathered that storm, and now as Henson gets slowed down, he's put on bottom. He's stuck down there, and Chambers can get to work with his offense from the top. If you're not offensive from the bottom, then the top guy is going to be offensive. And if you're defensive from the bottom, the top guy's going to be offensive. So you got to stay moving down there. Choice is going to go to Guthrie. They're going to choose neutral. And Chambers here is leading 3-0. Dane Henson still in this match for sure. He's got heavy hips here. He's pulling the feet like he should. He's got to try to get his leg back, and he's got to try to get his knees on the mat. He doesn't want to go this way. He wants to get his knees on the mat. Chambers has the bottom foot hooked as he's coming out the back. Henson does a nice job trying to create a scramble here. Dane's done well on bottom to this point, but it seems like he's slowing down a little bit. And as he does, Chambers bars up that arm. Looks like he's going to try this roll to tilt again. And Henson rolls with it, takes that momentum, gets back to his knees. Dane's doing a good job rolling with it, but he's got to start moving and start getting back to his feet. And Henson rolls with it again, takes that momentum. And Chambers likes that crossface. He's not doing much with it other than the crossface. Looks like maybe he's just trying to get a reaction out of Henson so he can possibly get a cradle or make something happen. Henson's stuck down here on bottom now, set too long. Chambers with a big bar arm chop gets Henson bellied out. Henson locks his hands to try to stop the bar arms, but he's got to get to moving. He's got to get to moving. And that's easy for me to say sitting behind the broadcast booth as Henson's out there fighting, but he's doing a good job on bottom. The busier he stays, the less that Chambers can do anything. Chamber, to his credit, he's a hammer on top, wrestling hard. These Choctaw boys are tough on top. Been giving these junior high Blue Jays trouble all night from that top position, these bar arms and these inside bar arms, these chicken wings. It's really been the story of this junior high duel as Choctaw's top game has been very dominant. Guys back on their feet now. Chambers trying to set up that double. He's had success with it twice. Looks like he's going to get it a third time. Double leg, crackdown dump, steps over the foot, pops his head out, picks up 3 more. Scored 3 takedowns tonight for 9 points. And that's been the story of this match so far. Henson's been on bottom for a good part of this match, and he's been able to stay off his back until now. Chambers picks up a 2 count. That's going to be good for 2 points. And now he's going to pick up more if he does not pick up the fall. But this looks like it could be a conclusion. Henson's got to fight here to try to get back to his belly if he wants to get back in the match. But that's not going to be enough. Dane Henson, to his credit, fought hard on bottom, did a good job. And Legend Chambers just did a nice job weathering that storm and fighting through that. And finally able to pick up 6 more for the Yellowjackets. Looks like we're going to go to 195 pounds. Yellowjackets are going to wrestle Hayden Rackley. The Blue Jays are going to bring out Sebastian Smith. As we get to action at 195 pounds, Sebastian with an underhook now off that double leg. Rackley now on a second shot, goes for a double leg. That's a big boy, not afraid to shoot. He's still going in for that single leg. Now he's got it pulled up. Sebastian did what he could to get his hips back, but Hayden Rackley very aggressive there trying to get that single leg. Sebastian now with a roll, able to roll his way back on top. Normally, I would say that's ill-advised, but in this case, sometimes with these big boys, they're able to get away with some things. And in that case, Sebastian Smith rolls to a two-point reversal and then locks his hands. That's going to cost him a point for locked hands. And now a reversal, so that's going to be a 3-point reversal. One for the locked hands and two more for the actual reversal. And that's going to put Hayden Rackley up 3-0. So it looked like Sebastian knew he locked his hands and got frustrated, let up a little bit. Hayden Rackley was more than happy to keep wrestling, spin around and get on top. And now you can see bar arms, and more bar arms from the Choctaw Yellowjackets as they are going to work on top of these Guthrie Bluejays. Hayden Rackley on top of Sebastian Smith. 30 seconds to go in the first period. Been a little bit of an excitement, a takedown, a rolling reversal, and then back to another reversal. We find ourselves here under 20 seconds to go. He's going to try to stuff that head and walk it over. We've seen that a couple of times from these Yellowjackets. Trying for that front three-quarter, not successful. Sebastian now wrestling, trying to get up off bottom. But easier said than done. A lot of times being on bottom as a bigger guy is a very difficult position to be in. As we conclude the first period, choice is going to go to Guthrie. Sebastian Smith's going to try to figure out what he wants to do. And he's going to go on bottom. Rackley's going to let him up. That's going to give Sebastian a point. And they'll go back to work on their feet second period. Perhaps this is only the second or third match that's made the second period tonight. Been a quick duel. Sebastian now gets around behind. Rackley able to come back out the back door. As these guys are wrestling hard tonight. Seem to be slowing down a little bit. Tap and go to an outside single. Rackley all the way back to his feet now. Sebastian trying to get down. Now he's looking for a place to land. Able to get on his belly. He was going to his back and had to bail out there to his belly. And Smith finds himself on bottom of Rackley. Another three-point takedown as they are wrestling on the edge. Now they will allow them to wrestle the edge as long as a piece of someone is in bounds. But you saw Rackley's foot slide out. And that brings him back to the center. Sebastian Smith's going to go on bottom. He's down 9-3. As Choctaw's Hayden Rackley gets set with 34 seconds left to go in the second period. Bar arm chop. Sebastian reaches under fighting hands. Guthrie's been doing that a little bit tonight. Really the only time they found success on bottom is they're catching the wrist and putting it over their head and trying to create a scramble. But there's a half. There's a half. Rackley caught that and rolled. Sebastian Smith put his head down. Rackley caught that half quick and rolled him right over it to pick up 6 more points. For Choctaw, we're going to move on to heavyweight. 285 pounds.
And at heavyweight for your Yellowjackets, Wyatt Brand, and for your Guthrie Bluejays, Tyler Bradford.
Wyatt Brand for the Yellowjackets is going to take on Kyler Bradford of the Blue Jays. These heavyweight matchups can get crazy. A lot of weight given up on both sides. Normally there's a big gap from 195 pounds to 285 pounds. That's the heavyweight discrepancy, nearly 100 pounds. It's 90 pounds difference. In his case, Wyatt Brand weighed in at 228. Kyler Bradford, 192, so got about 30 pounds on him. It should be, you can see the size difference. The height's about the same. Kyler Bradford's got to fight harder. Doesn't want to end up underneath the bigger Choctaw man. These two big boys going at it, getting some hand fighting. You guys stick with us after the junior high's done. Here's a snake attempt. Wyatt Brand gets the snake, rolls him over. Kyler Bradford in a tough spot here. He's fighting hard here off his back. That's a big man on top of him, though. As Wyatt Brand is pushing hard, trying to get those legs lined out. He's pushing hard with his legs. Bradford is. Long time to fight down there underneath the bigger man. And Wyatt Brand picks up another fall. 6 more points for the Yellowjackets. That's going to win the duel for them. 74 for the Choctaw Yellowjackets over the Guthrie Bluejays 12. We are going to conclude this duel, but
for the Choctaw Yellowjackets 74 and the Guthrie Bluejays 12.
Now we're going to kick off a couple of exhibition matches. I'll try to listen in and see if we can find out who is wrestling here. And then after these exhibitions, the girls, the junior high girls, are going to wrestle several duels. Then the high school girls going to pull off a few matches as well before we ultimately end up at the high school. We're just going to have to call this Guthrie versus Choctaw, I guess. I believe these wrestlers are 80 pounds. It's the lightest weight. They look the lightest. Hudson Green here for the Blue Jays. Gets a little duck under. Gets a little duck under. Gets around and gets behind. Not able to finish the takedown. You got to get behind and on top. So Guthrie's Hudson Green. Not sure who the Choctaw wrestler is, folks. I am sorry. Because it's an exhibition, they haven't given it to us. But Guthrie throws the headlock. And Choctaw rolls through, and now Guthrie's rolling back through. Hudson's got to let go of that head, though. That's going to be 3 points for Choctaw. As the Yellowjackets pick up the points. Green now gets the reversal. He's got a deep half. He's got a deep half here, and he picks up the fall. That's going to be a pin for the Blue Jays. Just got word from my man Chris Wilder. He's my liaison between the score clock and the broadcast booth. He says we got 3 more matches to go. All these exhibitions.
And for your expedition match, Karsten Cagle versus Aiden Macy.
Going to work here now. Yellowjackets looking so tough on top tonight. Heavy hand fights. In on a single leg is Choctaw. In on that single, heavy hips here by Guthrie as we're trying to get that leg back, but Choctaw not letting that happen. He dumps it down to crack down, steps over. He's got that double leg walking up the back now. He's got his 3 points. Guthrie's got a belly out here. As he tries to, his legs are all caught up underneath. And now with that bar arm that Choctaw's been on all night, bar arm and a half. Guthrie's got to post up here, try to work his way out. He's got to get his head off the mat, or Choctaw's going to stuff that head. We've seen that several times as well. These Yellowjackets tough on top. Guthrie here on bottom's got to keep working. There's a minute left to go, actually 50 seconds here in this first period. Down 3-0. Plenty of time to go in this match, but he's going to have to get his head off the mat or he's going to get it rolled under. We've seen this from Choctaw all night. Bar arms, stuff the head, stack them up. He's trying to do that. Guthrie wrestling tough down here on bottom, making it hard for Choctaw to score. Choctaw's wrestlers getting a little frustrated. Guthrie wrestler not cooperating, nor should he. Staying underneath those arms, working those bar arms. Got a bar arm tight waist. Stuff the head. We've seen this. Looks like that's what he's trying for. Now he's got the cross arm, cross face to a far arm. Going to try to dump that, but it's a little too loose. He's got the wrist. He just doesn't have much there. Good job, both guys. Good takedown by the Choctaw wrestler as Guthrie fought hard on bottom the whole period. It's going to be Guthrie's choice. And they are going to defer. Well, instead they go neutral. Back on their feet. Guthrie felt like he had some success there before. Choctaw drawing him back. I bet he's going to draw him back and then try to shoot underneath there on another takedown. He's got an underhook. Look for a throw here. Yep, big time headlock. He locked that up. He could have gone with the lat. He could have gone with the headlock. It was kind of a both either way. Just a matter of feeling the timing there, and he was able to find it and throw the headlock as he picked up 3 more points for the takedown. But Guthrie wrestler on bottom tough, didn't give up any near fall. He's got a leg in here. He's looking here for a spladle. Good job here by the Guthrie wrestler, able to shelf that leg up on his hip, which put Choctaw on his hip. Takes a lot of the pressure off your back when you do that. It's hard to get out still, but it does help with that pressure problem. Makes it hard for him to score as well. So doing a good job here on top. This Choctaw kid is a hammer. He's doing a good job grinding from top. Guthrie just can't get off bottom. Really the story of this junior high duel. Guthrie's really struggled down here underneath these Yellowjackets who have just been relentless on top. Finally got what he was looking for. Been trying to get that all night. Bar arm, stuff the head, stack, and picks it up. Choctaw with another fall in this junior high duel. And we're going to move on to our third and final exhibition match. Correction, we've got 2 more. We've got this one and 1 more. And then we'll move on and watch some of the girls wrestle. Sam Murillo of the Bluejays. Not sure who the Choctaw wrestler is, but Yellow Jacket on top in the front headlock. Murillo underneath on bottom. Got himself in a quad pod. No points scored yet. He's working that hand control, getting pushed out of bounds here. Catches a high C, but here's a little, just a chest wrap. Roll through, a little bit of a freestyle feel to it. Was able to throw him back and get to his side. As he gets that 3-point takedown. Now he puts legs in on top. Murillo finds himself in trouble on bottom here. Both legs in is a tough position to wrestle from. This Choctaw wrestler, both boots in. He's looking for a half or a bar arm, which is what Choctaw's been getting all night. But really he's focusing on this half. He's got the elbow high now. He's working. Murillo rolling up, almost rolled out the other side. Choctaw able to switch his hips and land back on top. As the crowd start filling up here in the Guthrie High School Gymnasium, Choctaw's traveled well. They've got a pretty good crowd over there. There's a half now. Murillo finds himself on his back. Able to get off after giving up 3 near fall. And back to another half here on top. Working that half. He's attacking the shoulder. Yellow Jacket's getting real high here, trying to cradle, but he's got his leg in the middle of it. And now he's getting a half on the other side, pulling that elbow up as we run out of time in the first period. 6-0 for Choctaw. Samarillo goes on top. Currently trailing 6-0. Working that bar arm chop as Choctaw's on bottom with his head in the mat. Look for him to get loose and explode out. He's caught the far shoulder now, and he'll spin around into a short carry position. Murillo trying to get back behind, and now Choctaw chases the double and picks up 2 points for the reversal. And that's going to put Choctaw up 8. 8 points to 0. Samarillo on bottom. Trying to work himself out of bottom, but keeps getting caught in these halves. His Choctaw wrestler's been putting legs in, running halves. Now he's back to barms, but he's pushing that head down, makes you think he wants a power half on top. And Murillo, to his credit, fighting hard down here. Really frustrating this Choctaw wrestler who seems like he would be happy with a pin if he could get it. And Murillo just making that difficult on him tonight. Already been warned for stalling once, Murillo has. He's going to have to stay busy or he'll get called again and lose a point. Wrestling here on bottom. Murillo gets to his feet. Potentially dangerous here. Referee wisely stops that. In junior high, not allowed to throw. Freestyle maybe, but definitely not here tonight. Referee Heath Gray not going to allow that to happen. Did a good job stopping that before anyone got hurt. And really in a match like this, there was no reason for such a big throw. As Choctaw goes back on top. Just tough as a boot on top all night. These Choctaw Yellowjackets, at least so far watching the junior high, have been very well schooled from the top position. Choice is going to go to the Blue Jays. And they're going to pick bottom. And we'll be back to action. Samarillo gets back to his feet, peeling hands. Did a good job there getting to his feet. And now Choctaw gets those legs back in. Murillo fighting tough here. There's the half he's been looking for. And Murillo fighting hard here. He's only given up 2 near falls so far. This is a continuation of the same hold, though. And Samarillo finally put down by the Choctaw wrestler in this exhibition match. Made the 3rd period. Good job by Samarillo, young wrestler. Be excited to see him make moves in the next few years. He's got a lot of potential. Just needs some more mat time, and he did a good job tonight getting some more of that, surviving long enough to learn. That's what you want to see out of your young athletes. As we move on to what looks to be the 195-pound class. Will you grab it? Emmett Harden for the Blue Jays, 195 pounds. Looks like he might be moving up to heavyweight here. Not sure which wrestler he's wrestling, but Emmett on bottom here. Gives up the takedown early. Guthrie finds himself on bottom again underneath these Yellowjackets. Not the best position to be in. We've seen these Yellowjackets just hammering away on top. Emmett very crafty, though. You're not going to see a lot of big guys wrestle the way that Emmett does. He does a lot of unconventional things that big guys normally cannot do. And from bottom, he can get to top very awkwardly and almost I've seen him almost just roll guys on top to their back from his belly. So he's got a little bit of an interesting style, but even when you think he's out, he's actually just getting in. So see if he can pull something off here. There's 30 seconds left to go in this first period. Emmett stuck hard on bottom here as this Choctaw wrestler is doing his best to get a turn, but Emmett doing a good job. He's posturing on bottom, which is making a big difference here. Makes it hard to do anything when you're just posturing away and trying to build yourself up. But he's got to get to his knees and start trying to work to his feet. Now he's got a half. Choctaw's tough on top here with his half, doing what they can. Referee Heath Gray is going to warn Hardin for stalling. Not doing quite enough from that position. Folks, I'll turn down that buzzer. First time I've heard it tonight, and that was loud, so I apologize for that. As we go into the second period, Emmett Hardin on top of this Choctaw Yellowjacket. Trying to get a spiral. He's just staying behind him, though. He's going to have to get out to the side if he wants this to work. It looks like he locked his hands. He's got him locked again. The referee's going to stop that. Award a point to Choctaw. And they're going to go back to the same position. And Choctaw on bottom. Emmett Hardin on top. Emmett not started in the correct position. Gets a caution. You get a couple of those before it costs you any points. The referee showing a little grace there, but now Choctaw's on his feet. Emmett able to throw him back down. Choctaw reaching between, almost like he was going to try a Peterson. Now he's getting out to the side, running his half. Look at Emmett here. He's got him broke over. Hardin's running this half. He's running the half over. He's just got to get back out to the side. He was out to the side and he had it. And then he went back to parallel and was losing. He's got to be careful he doesn't give up a full Nelson there. Choctaw wrestler finding himself in a little bit of trouble on bottom now. Emmett Hardin gets to the side. He's just got to get to the side and run. He's to the side, but he's just staying parallel. There's just not enough leverage out there. Now he's running towards the head. He's going to get a full Nelson call. That's a second violation that's cost him a point. If he gets another one, that's going to be worth 2 points for the Choctaw wrestler. So Hardin, with good intentions, is running the half back and forth on either side, but ended up in, that's a second caution, a third caution, and he's going to lose another point. Like I say, Emmett had good intentions, trying to run those halves, trying to score points, but not able to make nothing happen. There is another locked hands call. That's going to be 2 points. That's going to be worth 2 points. If he gets another one, it's going to be a disqualification. They're going to need to put him neutral, because if he does it again, he's going to give up the match. So Emmett's finding himself sort of in a desperate situation here as Choctaw finds their way to their feet. Going to be Hardin's choice. Looks like the Blue Jay coaches are going to put him down. He had some good success on top, and still the penalties started racking up. He almost got that half. Did not have much luck in the first period on bottom. Choctaw wrestler was able to get him bellied out. Wasn't able to score any points, but was able to get him down. And like I say, Choctaw tonight has been all about top wrestling. Very dominant. As we see more of that here, as Hardin finds himself stuck again underneath. He's going to have to come up with something special to get out from underneath here and get on top and find a way to win. Now, we have seen Hardin do this before. Like I said earlier, he's very awkward on bottom. He's a very interesting wrestler in the way that he moves his body and things like that. There's always a chance if there's time left that he can roll something up and get a pin. We've seen it before, but right now Choctaw is just on top and smashing. Emmett's having a hard time getting to his base, having a hard time making anything happen. The Choctaw wrestler would be wise to stay behind that front arm. Right now he's hanging it over the front, and Emmett's grabbing the wrist, going to pull it over his head. If he gets his arm behind, I'm not sure Emmett can do much. But for now, he's just grabbing that far arm, just kind of smashing. As we get down under 5 seconds, it looks like it's going to be another win for Choctaw tonight. Hardin made a match of it, made it all 3 periods, but ultimately falls short to the Yellow Jacket. And that's going to be the conclusion of this junior high duel and its exhibitions. Choctaw Yellowjackets 71 over the Blue Jays 12. Really, the story of this junior high duel, folks, was the top wrestling of Choctaw. Guthrie just did not have much of an answer for those barms and chops, the chicken wings. It all came off the same thing. They were able to capture the inside arm, and from there they just went to work. We've seen it out of Choctaw on more than one occasion, and tonight it was no different. Really the story of this matchup, the young Blue Jay squad just not experienced enough yet to know how to deal with that. But this will definitely give the coaches something to work on that they can use to help grow this Guthrie Blue Jay junior high team. Big improvement they have had since last season. And this year they are going to continue to grow. I am sure of that. As we take a quick pause here, I'm going to leave the match on. I'm going to take a quick break myself as these girls get going. And when the girls start wrestling, I will be back. You guys can tune in here
But hey, it was
You're eating that like it's going out of style.
For the Yellowjackets, Emma Skay. And for your Blue Jays, Eva Luna Ellis.
There's a quick match and a quick win by Eva Luna Ellis of the Blue Jays. Trying to take a quick break, and these girls started wrestling before I could get sat down. All right, Blue Jays at Gabby Kirk is going to take on Choctaw's Amiston St. Clair. These girls wrestling somewhere around 110 pounds. These exhibition matches are typically, these girls are going to be in the same weight class or similar every 5 pounds or so. Coaches are just trying to get these girls some mat time. This won't be an official duel. Neither team can fill all the weight, so coaches get together before these duels and say, hey, these are the girls we brought. These are the weights that they typically wrestle at. This is what they weighed in at. What can we do here as far as matching up these girls to get some weights? So the weights aren't going to be indicative of the girls' weights, but they're going to be close enough to call it something. So we're going to be here at 112 pounds. Amiston St. Clair from Choctaw taking on Gabby Kirk of the Blue Jays. Into the collar ties, ear to ear. And there's an outside single leg attempt by Amiston St. Clair. And there's another one on the outside. She's going for the shot to the outside. Both girls locked up ear to ear. That means they're going to have head position. There's a throw by Gabby Kirk. An arm lock. She had a head and arm, and she throws it. You can go either way. We saw it thrown the opposite direction during the boys' match. She throws it on the head side, and now she's got a three-point takedown, trying to pick up the fall here. St. Clair fighting hard on her back, but this is tight now, folks. And there's the fall by Gabby Kirk. That's going to pick up 6 points for the Blue Jays. As the Blue Jay girls starting off strong here in the junior high division. PK Sinclair from Choctaw is going to take on Bailey Harden of the Blue Jays. And these two girls going to wrestle somewhere around 126 pounds.
Got you. Go. Bailey, you're green. Bailey, you're green.
As we kick things off here, third girls match of the night. Starting junior high, and once the junior high girls are done competing, then we'll go back to the high school girls. Trying to get all these girls as many matches as we can. You see on the far side over there, all of the girls' coaches. This year's Guthrie's first official year for girls wrestling team. It's an all-girls wrestling team. They had somewhere around 15 or 20 girls sign up and show up and come to practice every day, trying to get better. Most of the girls are new. Year or two experience. Bailey Harden, though, hits up a cradle. Takedown. She's got this cradle locked up. She's going to pick up near fall. She doesn't get the pin, but this is tied. Bailey Harden strikes early and strikes hard as PK Sinclair trying to get off her back. This cradle is getting tight, but she's got her inside arm block and was able to get back to her belly. Good job by PK Sinclair. And Bailey Harden right back to that same cradle that she scored with a moment ago. Cross face hard. Now she's going for the power half. She's running it to the head. PK Sinclair fighting hard, trying to push the far hip. That's how you stay off your back. But now Bailey Harden able to gets that weight on top. She picks up 4 more near fall. And now she's right back on that half. Bailey Harden from one thing to another here as PK Sinclair getting a little bit overwhelmed. And Bailey Harden picks up the fall for the Blue Jays. That's 6 more as these Blue Jay girls really off to a good start tonight. And head coach over there in the black, you can see him in the right, shaking hands with PK. Coach Casey in his first season as head coach here for the Blue Jays, alongside Andrew Harden. Kennedy Water for Choctaw is going to be taking on
That's 155 pounds for the Yellowjackets, Kennedy Watson. For your Blue Jays, Chloe Lazenberry.
Looking at Chloe. Chloe Lazenberry. This matchup's going to be at 155-ish pounds. These girls get to action here. Headgear falls off. Kennedy Water, she'll get that put back on. You can see on the far side all 3 coaches now. Andrew Harden, Ashley Vaughn, and Levi Casey. All committed to getting these girls started in this first season. They've done a great job. Like I was saying earlier, most of these girls are new wrestlers. There are a handful of girls. We got about 4 or 5 with a little bit of experience. But for the most part, we've got a bunch of beginners, and our coaches have done a great job. We brought home some hardware from a couple of tournaments. They did really good at our home season opener here in this very gymnasium, the Holly Howard tournament. A lot of medals were given on that day to the Blue Jays, and every time they compete, it is noticeable improvement. It's first time under the lights, though, for these girls at a home duel, so this is exciting for them, I'm sure. It's Chloe Lazenberry and Kennedy Water here from Choctaw. Hook it up. Both girls heavy on these collar ties, banging the head. Look for one of them to take a risk here soon. Down under a minute, there's been a lot of ties and a lot of banging. Not too much action as far as the shots are concerned, but I bet someone takes a risk here soon as these girls both heavy on the collar ties. There's the shot. Single leg by Water as she comes out on top with the 3-point takedown. As Chloe Lazenberry now finds herself on bottom. And Kennedy Water trying to run that half on top. She's up 3-0 here on the edge of the mat with 30 seconds to go. Chloe Lazenberry's got to try to get to her base, and Water doing a good job covering the hips and staying heavy and really prying down on this half. She's trying this power half really hard. She's just stuck underneath the shoulder. She needs to get out there to that elbow and get that elbow run up over the head. Lazenberry doing a good job just being tough down here. Really a tough position to be in as they conclude the first period. Choctaw's Kennedy Waters going to find herself up 3-0 over Chloe Lazenberry of the Blue Jays. Choice is going to go to the Blue Jays. They're going to defer. Choctaw's going to choose neutral. And Chloe Lazenberry trying to get instructions from her coaches as she gets back to the center. Doing a great job listening to her coaches. Again, a new wrestler, but you can tell she's eager to get better, just wanting to catch all the instruction. And now she's going to try a shot of her own as they lock up these head ties. Oh, she gets pulled underneath on a snap down and a go behind by Kennedy Water. That's going to be 3 more points. And now Water goes back to work on top. And Chloe on bottom, struggling to get her hips up. She's posturing real good, but now that half is starting to get a little tighter. That elbow's getting higher. Now she's got her rolled over on her back. And now Chloe's in a tough spot, but she's getting that inside arm out. Her left arm, you can see it in the screen. Her shoulder's up. She's got to keep twisting and keep trying to get that arm up as Water's going to try to settle back and lay back down on that arm. That's kind of the fight here. She can lay down on that arm. She can get Lazenberry in trouble. That shoulder's still up. You can see it a little bit in the camera here. Oh, now she rolls back the other way. That's tight now. Now it's trouble. It's trouble as Water picks up the fall, and that's going to be 6 points for the Yellow Jackets. Their first of the night. It's going to put them on the clock. Great job by both ladies. A lot of good effort there, a lot of hustle. A lot of good work there for these two girls. Now it looks like we're going back to 117 pounds.
And at 117 pounds, we got Trey Tyson and Emma Skegg.
Emma Skegg of Choctaw is going to be taking on Dre Miracle Tyson of the Blue Jays. Miracle in here on an outside single. Does a good job getting to it. Oh, she readjusts as she's circling. And Emma Skegg on top does a nice job circling, getting her hip back. But Tyson that was a nice single leg. A lot of good adjustments there. A lot to be happy about. As she gets right to her feet and she's back away. And I think we're going to be in for a good one here, folks. These two girls are getting after it. Emma Skegg is up 3-0 from that takedown. And Dre Miracle Tyson was able to get right up and get right out. Now she's back on that inside collar. She's got inside ties, one on the collar, one on the arm. Now Skegg gets the inside tie of her own. Miracle's got that outside wrist, heavy collar ties. These girls are getting after it. Minute to go still. Little tap single attempt by Skegg on the outside there as they go ear to ear now. They go ear to ear wrestling around. Back to the collar. Slow down a little bit as this action, but there's the outside knee pick attempt again. Twice she's tried that. Just a collar tie to a knee pick. Tyson's been able to stop it both times. Really the only committed shot we've seen was that first attempt by Tyson. Got in deep, just not able to finish. And the go behind went to Skegg. And Skegg now, every time she goes for that little knee pick, gets a little bit closer. That last time she tripped her up. Miracle's got an underhook now. Now we're down under 10 seconds. Both girls still getting after it. Heavy collar ties. Both girls just battling in this position, doing a good job. Good shot there, Coach Levi Casey trying to coach his wrestler. Choice is going to go to Guthrie. They're going to choose bottom. And that's going to put Choctaw on top as Emma Skegg starts this period on top. She's up 3-1. And we start action in the second period. Junior high time. It's 2-minute first period, minute and 30 second and third periods. To her feet she goes. And Tyson's out for another escape. Does a great job on bottom. Looks like she's trying to work a headlock over here. She's got a heavy over tie on the top collar. That's a tongue twister. Looks like she might be trying to throw a headlock here. Emma Skegg, though, pulling down on that elbow. Looks like she's aware of the danger as she digs that inside tie back. These girls battling heavy in these ties. Skegg with that nice single leg attempt early on. I wonder if she'll go back to it or if maybe she's a little bit gun shy now that she was scored on from it. Skegg had real heavy hips and did a good job circling behind. If you notice, Skegg, she keeps reaching with her left arm for Tyson's right leg for a knee pick. Big time snap down. Holy smokes. Snap down, go behind. Emma Skegg does a good job there with the snap down, go behind for 3, but immediately Tyson's back to her feet. Another escape. There's a takedown And she's got a leg in. She's super high. Not sure if she knows what to do with that. But she got a takedown of her own after that escape and finds herself on top. She ties the match with that takedown. And we go into the third period, 6-6. Dre Miracle Tyson able to tie it up with a big-time takedown as we go into the third period. MSK is going to get her headgear put back on. These girls have been getting after it. Possibly the best match of the night. A lot of parity here. These girls are getting after it. MSK is going to go down. It's tied 6-6. Choctaw on bottom, Guthrie on top. And Skay right to her feet. As she turns around for that single leg, she's trying to switch here. Able to get it. That's a 2-point reversal. That 2-point reversal. And now, out the back goes Dre Miracle. She gets a reversal back. So 8-8 now. 6 points to 8 as they both exchange, or I guess trade reversals. And now MSK gets to her feet. Dre Miracle's trying to get her back to the mat. She's trying that far trip. She's going to have to let her go or she's going to get called for stalling, but she gets her back to the mat. She's too high. She gets rolled over to her back. Tight. This is a tight side headlock. The reverse headlock. Big time change of events. Tyson just got too high. Sky ducked out from behind. She fell over to her back, ended up on top, and now Tyson's in all kinds of trouble here on the edge of the mat, but she gives up the fall. Great effort by both ladies in what was a very exciting junior high girls matchup at 117 pounds. A lot of fun that one was. Both girls, great job. It looks like that's going to conclude the junior high girls matches. All right, we are fixing to get high school girls started now.
170 pounds for the Yellowjackets, Sierra Reed. For your Guthrie Bluejays, Mackenzie Hardesty.
We are kicking off high school girls now.
Sierra.
We're going to go to 170 pounds.
Hey, Mackenzie, you're green.
Sierra Reeves is going to be wrestling for Choctaw. And Mackenzie Hardesty is going to be wrestling for the Blue Jays. Once we get these girls situated. Ended in an exciting match, that last one of those girls. Really getting after it. Both girls making things happen.
What's your name?
Hi, Sierra.
Sierra Griffin?
No, Sierra Reeves.
Reeves? Okay. Sierra Reeves. Okay. Gotcha.
And Sierra Reeves finds her way out to the mat. And we are back to action. This is high school girls. 170 pounds. Got a heavy underhook there by Reeves to an outside single. Nicely executed as she picks up 3 points for the takedown. These matches, all periods, will be 2 minutes. Junior high had a minute and 30 last 2 periods, but high school goes 2 minutes for all 3 periods. If it goes the distance. Hardesty's doing a good job posting that outside leg to stop this half, but she's getting twisted up for her effort. It always makes me cringe when the girls are so flexible. But to her feet, nicely done. Mackenzie Hardesty to her feet. She's peeling hands. Did all the right things, and to her credit, Sierra Reeves did a nice mat return. and gets her back down to the mat. These two girls battling things out now as Reeves is grinding hard on top. She's under that arm. She's trying for the bar arm chop. She was looking for a cradle there a minute ago, but it looks like she's back on top now, just working for chops. And Hardesty on bottom. She's got to her feet once. She's up to she's posting the leg. She's almost to quad paw, but now she goes back to her belly. Both girls wrestling hard. Reeves keeping heavy on that hip, and Hardesty not able to stay on her hands. She's fallen to her elbows, which it's going to be hard to get to your feet from your elbows. And there she goes to the post. Back up to her feet. Hardesty's doing everything right on bottom. She's doing a good job. You can tell she knows the progression. She knows where she's supposed to go and what she's supposed to be doing. And Sierra Reeves just not cooperating from top. She's doing a nice job of just continually breaking her back down to those positions. Choice here is going to go to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are going to defer. And now the Yellow Jackets are going to put Sierra Reeves in the neutral position. And these girls will go back to work on their feet and do some takedowns. Saw a nice underhook to an outside single by Sierra Reeves earlier tonight. Actually, earlier in this matchup. And both girls going to work here now on their feet again. Reeves now with a deep arm. I almost look for her to hit that single leg again. There it is. Hits the single leg. And Hardesty's got to bail out to her belly so she doesn't fall to her back. And now Hardesty's on her back here with that half. Reeves in with a deep half. She's got the far arm. A lot of action here, Miss folks. Sorry, I had a little technical difficulty, but we're back to action here. Both these girls wrestling hard. Hardesty able to get back to her base. And Sierra Reeves going to pick up 3 more near fall. As these girls are wrestling hard to finish out this second period. And Sierra Reeves finds herself up 10-1 over Guthrie's Mackenzie Hardesty. Both girls doing a great job. And Mackenzie wrestling tough from that bottom position both periods. And she's back to work here. Looks like Sierra Reeves had her choice. She picks bottom. And Mackenzie Hardesty goes on top. And we're back to action. Hardesty's got to make something happen here from the top position. Hopefully get her broke down and possibly some near fall or get her on her back. But she gets too high. A little bit of frustration here from Mackenzie. And no reason for that. She's wrestled a great match so far. Finds herself down 16-13. I'm sorry, 16-1. And that's going to be a tech fall. But Mackenzie Hardesty, hats off to her. Wrestled a tough match. Sierra Reeves gave her a couple of opportunities to get out of there, to give up, to lay down, and Mackenzie did not take the bait. She kept fighting. She stayed in there and kept wrestling. It's always great to see these girls hook it up and get better. Nice match by both girls. Next matchup for the Blue Jays is going to be somewhere around 110 pounds. And Cicely Griffin for Choctaw is going to take on Mia Rollins of the Blue Jays.
Rollins, yep, okay, be on the green line.
We're going to call this a duel match. It's a little bit of a mock duel. We've got the junior high girls and the high school girls, but just for the in-home entertainment, match for match, the Yellow Jackets are currently trailing the Blue Jays 17-18. As the Guthrie Bluejays came off to a quick start with several falls, and the Yellow Jackets have slowly crept up and made their way back. As we go to high school girls, 112 pounds, 110 pounds, I think, is the girls' weight here. It's another graphic I'll have to get to work on and get the girls' weights entered in here, but somewhere around here, here's a takedown by Cecily Griffith. She's got Mia Rollins on her back. Mia fighting tough down here, trying to keep that shoulder up. She's got her inside arm in there, but not quite enough. Good pin by Mia Rollins. I'm sorry. Good pin for Cecily Griffith. Mia Rollins had a good outing there, a good fight. And that's going to be 6 more points for Choctaw as we move into 120 pounds, where Choctaw's Taylor Covell is going to take on Guthrie's Mila Fitzgibbon. Both girls hook it right up to tie-ups. Heavy, heavy tie-ups. Not sure if it's Covell or Covell, but picks up a takedown there early. It's Mila Fitzgibbon for the Blue Jays. Finds herself down 3-1. And there's a left side outside single. Transitions nicely to a crackdown for the 2. And she's going to let Milo back up and work on some more takedowns. Current score 6-2. About a minute and 10 seconds left to go in the first period. There's that outside single again. Cobble really likes that outside single. That's what she's been going for, but this time Fitzgibbon is able to slow it down a little bit. She nearly caught her. Now she's back to an awkward position. She's going to have to let go of that head or she's going to end up going to her back. That's 3 points more for Taylor Cobble. And now Mia Fitzgibbon gets another escape. They go back to work with 30 seconds left to go. Heavy collar tie, snap down. Now she's normally would go behind, but it looks like she might be looking for some back points here. There she goes around behind and picks up the takedown. And we're under 20 seconds now. Current score is 12-4. This will be 3 more. If she can get around, she's got to get her head out. And referee's going to award 3 more points. That's going to put and another takedown there. It's going to be 18-4 as Taylor Covell goes to work here on top, trying to get the fall. Mila Fitzgibbon fighting tough down here. To her credit, doing a good job. Looks like Mila's got less experience. Taylor Covell, experienced wrestler, but Mila makes it nearly through the second period before Taylor's able to pick up that tech fall. In wrestling, it's like a run rule. Once you get so many points, they stop the match, and that's what's happened here. That's going to be 5 points for Choctaw, and that's going to put them ahead in this girls' duel. Looks like they're going to be up.
At 125 pounds for the Yellow Jackets, Amy Loyal, and for the Blue Jays, Riley Radford.
Looks like we're moving to 125 pounds, 126 we'll call it tonight. Amy Loya of Choctaw is taking on Riley Radford of the Blue Jays. Loya in on a high crotch attempt. Radford with heavy hips, able to get down. She's behind, but she's hung up with her arm. It's like she's trying to hang on with her arms, but she's got to let them go to get behind. Kind of a catch-22 here. She had control of the head, but if she lets go of it, she loses control. So she was behind, but no points awarded, as Amy Loya does a good job staying out of trouble there as well. Good little exchange by both girls. Both girls working hard here. Inside collar ties, heavy ties. We saw a little bit of action early on. There's a headlock attempt. Big time headlock by Amy Loya. Riley Radford finds herself on her back. Not a good position for Guthrie here, as Riley's fighting hard. She's getting her arm underneath, able to get to her belly. Nicely done by Riley Radford, but Amy Loya up 7-0 with a 3-point takedown, 4-point near fall, as Loya goes to work on top with that half. Not able to score, but definitely aggressive with that. Referee's going to flip the coin. Choice went to Choctaw. They defer. Riley Radford of the Blue Jays is going to choose to go on bottom as we get back to action here, second period. Heavy crossface there by Amy Loya from the top position, trying to get that far side cradle. And Riley Radford staying busy on top to her, or on bottom to her credit. Working up on bottom, doing what she needs to be doing. She's doing a good job here. Lift and return by Amy Loya. Both these girls working hard here. Big time half by Loya on top. Gets Radford to her back. Now Radford's got her far arm. The underneath side arm goes through the body, and she's able to roll back through. Nice job by Riley Radford knowing what to do there. But Amy Loya right back to her half. Locks that up tight. That was a tight one, folks. And Amy Loya is going to pick up the fall here for the Yellowjackets. Next match is going to be at 140 pounds.
At 140 pounds, the Yellowjackets PK Sinclair.
PK Sinclair is going to take on Cadence Blevins. And we'll be back to work here at 140 pounds. Cadence Blevins of the Blue Jays has a couple of years of wrestling, but was off last year due to an injury. So she's back to action here. About a month ago, she picked wrestling back up when this new program got started. So she is getting her bearings straight. And PK Sinclair out there battling with her from Choctaw. Both girls pushing hard, working on them inside ties and head control. There's a snap down. by Cadence Blevins, followed by another one. And Sinclair able to recover as Blevins attacks back in with her head. And now both girls wrestling hard in here. Heavy snaps by Cadence Blevins. She's got to be careful she don't snap her into her legs. Now she's got the inside Russian tie. She's going to try to drag it by. And Sinclair not allowing that to happen, but both girls fighting now. We're under a minute in the first. No points yet. Both girls wrestling hard here. And there's a snap down attempt by Sinclair. Cadence Blevin pushing hard here. As she goes back to that Russian tie. She's got to climb up the arm further. She's got it too long. Cadence has got to climb the arm and try to get behind the elbow. Between the elbow and the shoulder is where you want the control. And she had it between the elbow and the wrist. Sinclair did a good job straightening her arm out, not letting her do much with it. And now Sinclair pushes on Blevins. Blevins clears the tie right back into an inside collar tie. Some hand fighting on the outside. Now Sinclair back on the inside. Back to this Russian tie. And Sinclair doing a good job with a long arm, but Blevins really trying to make something happen with that inside bar arm. And now Sinclair gets wrist control of her own. And Blevins clears those ties. Both girls lock it back up. Exciting first period back and forth. Not a ton of points, actually 0 points, but a lot of good action there. Both girls wrestling hard. Choice is going to go to Guthrie, and Blevins is going to defer. And now Choctaw's going to put Sinclair on bottom. As we get back to action here, second period of this 140-pound matchup between these high school girls. Sinclair right to her feet. Picks up, goes. It looks like she was trying for a neck whip there, and Blevins able to get her back down. Blevins now getting high. Sinclair back to her feet, hand control, peels the ties. Sinclair did a nice job on bottom, just hustling down there. And now they're back on their feet. That's the first point scored, was that escape. And Sinclair, big-time hustle. Blevins, to her credit, got her back down a couple of times and tried to stick with it. But Sinclair ultimately able to wiggle her way out and back on their feet. Earns herself an escape. And now these girls go back and forth. Looks like this could very well come down to whoever is willing to take a risk and score the first takedown. And Cadence trying to use that Russian arm tie. Tying up that arm, trying to use it, kind of shovel it by and try to get a pass by with it, but has not been successful. There's a bump and a shot. She's trying to get to that leg now. Not quite willing to go to her knees for it, but at least that knee pick and tap. First real leg attempt we've seen is by Blevins. And Sinclair battling in these ties. Both girls just battling. No attempts here. As it's now 1-0. Choice is going to go to the Blue Jays. And Blevins has got to go on bottom. Try to get out here. Only point scored was when Sinclair got the escape in the second period. Blevins is going to have to get up and get out here. And then it's going to come down to takedowns. Right now, Blevins struggling to get out from bottom as Sinclair riding hard on top. Blevins with the post. She stands up, clears hands, gets the escape. Ties the match. And now it's coming down to a takedown, folks. So far, there it is. There's a pass by. She's got the knee pick. Not quite willing. Just wasn't quite willing to sacrifice enough to grab that. If she'd have locked her hand, she might have had it. But Sinclair able to stomp that leg back out and dodge that bullet. But here we go. Both girls now pushing. Sinclair's pushing. And Blevins is... One of these girls is going to have to... There's an underhook by Blevins. You know, the risk is definitely that. It's a risk. You get underneath there, there's a chance they'll go behind. There's a chance you won't get the takedown. But in order to score, you got to take a risk. So somebody here is going to have to take a risk. Blevins attacks the leg again. She goes underneath. She's got her hands locked. She transitions to the double. She's got to stay on her feet. She doesn't want to go to her knees. She's got the double. Sinclair trying to circle. Blevins stuck underneath, and there's the risk we were talking about. Blevins willing to take it, but Sinclair able to pick up the 3-point takedown. Hats off to Cadence Blevins for trying to win that match. She nearly had the takedown. Stopped driving her feet and got stuck underneath, but PK Sinclair able to sprawl and get behind and pick up a 4-1 match. Very even match there. Nice match it was. Fun to watch. These girls, actually Choctaw picks up 3 more for their girls. And Kimmery Lovelace for Choctaw is going to take on Isla Mae Smith of the Blue Jays. Wrestling now at 145 pounds. Isla Mae trying to fight off this high crotch attempt, but she's going to have to let it go and bail out. As Lovelace able to get the takedown in 3. That's going to, and she stuffs the head of Isla Mae. We saw the boys doing this all night in the junior high. And Isla Mae puts that head down. Lovelace able to capitalize. That was the story of the junior high duel. We see it again here with the girls. Tough on top are these Choctaw Yellowjackets. Yeah, moving on now to 155 pounds.
For the Yellowjackets, Sierra Reeves.
Sierra Reeves for the Yellowjackets is going to take on Peyton. And Peyton Edberg of the Blue Jays. Big takedown there for the Yellowjackets. Double leg, swims for the half. Peyton Edberg finds herself in trouble early. And that is going to conclude the girls' duel for the evening. As these girls all did a good job. Blue Jays have not seen this many girls compete at a duel thus far in our wrestling history. This is the biggest batch of girls we've ever had compete on this mat, so congratulations to all those girls that competed tonight. It's so great to see such a big group of girls on that mat. High school girls dominated, and the high school Yellow Jacket girls dominated the high school matches. The junior high girls did quite a bit better against the Yellow Jackets, came out strong in that duel. So evenly matched girls. It was a fun duel to watch there. We are going to move on to the high school boys shortly as they come out to get warmed up. I'm not sure how much time we're going to have, but I'm going to leave the match on here as I take a short break. I'll leave the camera on for you folks as well, and we will be back for the boys' duel momentarily.
In just a moment. your hands together for your Blue Jays. Tonight's duel is sponsored by Crescent Veterinarian. We want to thank Wayne Sisk and his veterinarian clinic for sponsoring tonight's duel. Wrestling first at 106 pounds for Choctaw, Cash Williams. And for your Blue Jays, Joe Landry. At 113 pounds for Choctaw, Cameron Hunter. And for the Blue Jays, Uriah Sears. At 120 pounds for the Yellowjackets, it's Darian Hooks or Cole Stevens. And for the Blue Jays, Hayden Smith. It's Caden Herendeen. All right, let's try this again at 126 pounds. For Choctaw, it's Darian Hooks or Cole Stevens. And for the Blue Jays, Hayden Smith. Up next at 132 pounds for Choctaw, Wesley Davies. For the Blue Jays, Matthew Mihalik. At 138 pounds for Choctaw, Gabe Hernandez. For the Blue Jays, Thomas Jairus. At 144 pounds for Choctaw, Kirsten Iverson. For the Blue Jays, Aiden Harden. At 150 pounds for Choctaw, Preston Scott. And for the Blue Jays, Colton Stevens. At 157 pounds for Choctaw, Garrett Williams. And for the Blue Jays, Trevor Gray. Wrestling at 165 pounds for Choctaw, Jory Garrett. And wrestling for the Blue Jays, Clayton Carey. At 175 pounds, Choctaw is open. And for your Blue Jays, Bryson Hall. For Rowan McComb. At 190 pounds for Choctaw, Matt Loudenstinger. And for the Blue Jays, Rustin Sultan. At 250 pounds for Choctaw, Levi Shatswell. And for the Blue Jays, Wyatt Sylvan. And at 285 pounds for Choctaw, Caden Stitt. And for the Blue Jays, Tyler Powell.
Please stand and join the Guthrie High School Band in the playing of our national anthem. To the center of the mat. Your Blue Jays are coached by Jaden Davenport. And your Choctaw Yellowjackets coached by Benny Coleman.
Choctaw will be even. Choctaw is even, to whom it maketh concern. Choctaw is even. Guthrie is odd.
All right, folks, we are fixing to kick off this high school duel between the Guthrie Bluejays and the Choctaw Yellowjackets.
At 106 pounds, Joe Landry.
Joel Landry for the Blue Jays. 106 pounds. We're going to kick this thing off as we get to action here. Nice slick little pass by. Goes right to those bar arm tilts. We saw the junior high have a ton of success with these bar arm tilts, and now right back to action at 106 pounds. Williams gets right to work against Joel Landry. Williams, to his credit, has quite a pedigree coming from the junior high. He's currently ranked he was a junior high state champion last year, and what that means is in the state of Oklahoma for his age division, he was the best wrestler, and he is showing that here. Freshman, clearly no stranger to wrestling. Joel Landry fighting hard, doing his best down here, currently down 9-1 as this match is getting crazy here. And Cash Williams, the freshman out of Perry, fresh off of last weekend's win. He won the Perry tournament last weekend. After winning, he ends his season last year as the state champion overall, not just 6A, but in all divisions, and then shows up to his first high school tournament and wins that. And now he's getting to work here on top against Joel Landry of the Blue Jays. Joel, to his credit, fighting hard down here, trying to stay out of trouble, but just too much was Cash Williams. They pick up 6 points for Choctaw to start this duel. As we move on now to 112 pounds, 113 pounds. And we're going to wrestle Cameron Hunter. Looks like that's who they're going to put out here at 112 pounds. Against Uriah Sisk for the Blue Jays. Yellow Jackets find themselves out to an early lead, up 6-0. Choctaw 6A powerhouse for many years. Were dual state champions as early as 2018. As Benny Coleman, no stranger to success on the wrestling mat himself, also finds success in coaching, has really built quite a dynasty at Choctaw, as it shows. A 6A school versus 5A. Guthrie in 5A this year, currently ranked number 7. And Cameron Hunter out to quick work here with the takedown as Uriah Sisk finds himself in trouble early and down 7-0. Uriah trying to keep that inside shoulder out. He's working back and forth, going to try to work himself out of bounds. And Cameron Hunter wisely turns him back inbounds. So Uriah was facing in a direction where he could kind of push himself out of bounds. Cameron Hunter, showing his experience, turns back in so that Uriah Sisk can't get out of bounds. And to his credit, Cameron Hunter, third. He's a sophomore, and he took third place at the Perry tournament last weekend. So another hammer they've got here, a young hammer in Choctaw. They've got a young team this year, a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores on that roster, but a lot of decoration coming from that freshman class. They've got some good wrestlers here, as you can tell. Cameron Hunter going to work here against the young Uriah Sisk. It's going to be 4-point near fall. That's going to be a tech fall. That's going to be 5 more points for Choctaw. And what is getting off to a very quick duel to start things off. We're going to move up to 120 pounds, where the Blue Jays are going to look to answer back. They're going to march out Caden Herendeen. Not sure who Caden's going to be wrestling.
120 pounds, Caden Herendeen.
Ethan Barlow. 120 pounds, Ethan Barlow.
Go, kiddo.
Ethan Barlow's a sophomore. Not sure if he's Choctaw's typical starter. They've got a kid that took third at the Perry tournament last week and also plays a preseason national. So a tough kid was he, but Ethan Barlow's who they're putting out there tonight, and Caden Herendeen off to an early first period takedown. Now, last weekend at the big national tournament out in Enid, Mid-American Nationals, Caden Herendeen went all the way to the finals and beat some very good kids on his way to that. As we take a quick time out for blood. Choctaw out to an early lead. They're up 11-0 over the Blue Jays. Blue Jays are going to have to look to answer back here with Caden Herendeen, who is one of their senior leaders and one of the guys they're going to count on to get them back in the duel. Want to check out tonight's game official. Heath Gray, the noted stellar wrestler himself, two-time national champion in college out of UCO, has transitioned into officiating and has really done an amazing job. He's been behind the whistle for the last several seasons. I've seen him coach all the way up, or not coach, but referee at the highest of levels. Does a great job. We're very lucky to have him here tonight. He officiates what's going to be a fun duel tonight. I think both teams see themselves in a position where they could win this duel. 6A versus 5A. Last year, I believe, Yellow Jackets came out ahead, but this year, Jaden Davenport's Blue Jays are going to do what they can. Caden Herendeen now getting to work out of this cradle. He's only up 3-0, but he's got this cradle locked up tight. He's going to have to take his time. He'd be wise to get both legs behind the ankle like he just did, and now he's got to lay down and post his head. He's got to post his head, and when he does, that'll be a fall. He's got to sit there. There's the fall. Caden Herendeen picks up a much-needed 6 points for his Blue Jays. Much-needed 6 points. Very nicely done by Caden Herendeen. As we move on to 126 pounds. Folks, we're going to have ourselves a duel. Current score 11-6. Choctaw leads going into the fourth match. Yep. And we're going to move on to Aiden Smith for the Blue Jays. He's going to be taking on
Wrestling next for your Blue Jays at 126 pounds, Aiden Smith.
currently trying to figure out who Choctaw is wrestling. Looks like Brian Hooks for the Yellow Jackets. Sorry for the delay, folks. Trying to work through some technical difficulties here. As Hooks off to an early takedown, Aiden Smith finds himself on bottom 3-0. He's going to work his way up. Wrestled a good tournament this past weekend. Aiden, a sophomore this year. Has been wrestling very tough, is only getting better. And yeah, Briar Hooks of Choctaw was the one that took third at Perry last weekend at the preseason national. So definitely got a good one to bump up, as they did. I think Perry felt like perhaps they would have been nice to see him wrestle Caden Herndon, if I'm being honest. That would have been a fun matchup. Two high-level wrestlers competing, but looks like Choctaw felt they wanted to get something better here, so they did. They've got many extra wrestlers they brought tonight, obviously capable of wrestling good, so they're going to do that. Both these coaches are going to get crafty with these lineups. We've had issues jumbling, trying to figure out who's wrestling who. That's why the broadcast is coming on a little bit slow. We're not sure who they're wrestling out there. Both coaches getting a little crafty. A lot of times, teams will show up and just bring their 14 wrestlers. And in tonight's case, both teams brought about 20 guys, and they're going to mix and match and put these guys in where they need to try to finagle this duel. So this will be an interesting back and forth as these scores start to climb, as Briar Hooks, one of Choctaw's much-needed wins, has bumped up to 126 to take on Aiden Smith. Aiden Smith finds himself down 1-6. There's 8 seconds to go in the first, as he battles on bottom here. Doing a good job just posting and staying in good position. Hooks not able to score from the top. Choice is going to go to Choctaw. They're going to defer. They do one coin flip at the beginning of every duel. And at the beginning of the duel, they flip the coin. The winner of that coin toss gets to pick odd or even. In this case, Guthrie wins the toss, and they go even. And what that means is all the even number matches, the second, the fourth, the sixth match, Guthrie gets their choice in the second period. And then all the odd number matches would go to Choctaw. So in this case, it's an odd number match, so Choctaw gets their choice. And that's how that works. Another takedown here for Briar Hooks. Finds himself up 9-1 over Aiden Smith. Aiden battling down here on bottom. I think Briar would like to get some turns. Here's that bar arm. Now he's got a claw ride and a bar arm. He's doubling those up. Choctaw been hammers on top all night long. He's rolling that out now, trying to get a hammer lock. Aiden Smith, though, fighting this tough. He's on his knees, which makes this very difficult. If bar arms and things like this when you're on your belly work very good, but when a guy gets to his knees like Aiden has, it makes it very difficult to score there because everything's loose and it's risky. Guy can roll through and make it dangerous to try to take him to his back. If he's on his belly, it's near fall and often pins, but if a guy gets to his knees, it's tough. There's an outside cradle attempt here from his feet. Outside single to a cradle. He picks up 3 more. As Briar's not having any issues with takedowns, but he can't get the turn, so it looks like he's going to try to go to work here on his feet. Aiden's going to have to shut this down. Does a good job staying heavy here on his hips. And Briar just transitions from the one side, gets back to the single on the other, goes back for the head, trying to get the fall. He's going for it, trying to go from feet to back. But Aiden Smith, good night. Tough as they come, able to roll through that. Briar keeps looking over to Coach Benny Coleman. He's trying to get the fall. He wants that pin. Aiden Smith not having it. As Brooks now under 5 seconds, he's going to try to get this right out. A choice is going to go to Guthrie. And it's going to be a tough choice to make. Didn't have much luck on their feet. Haven't had much luck on bottom. I would assume Coach wants to go top here. Not going to happen. They're going to put they're going to put Aiden back down. And Briar Hooks is going to go optional start. Look for him to run out front and try to catch something and go feet to back. He's up 15-3. He's going to need a couple takedowns or a takedown to near fall. Aiden Smith, though, we've seen it more than once. He's never out of the match, and he's never going to just sit there and take it. This kid's going to start firing and try to get points of his own if he can. He's got that hook, double leg to his back. Hooks does a good job here trying to catch him to his back. And that takedown's going to be the tech fall. Briar Hooks is going to pick up 5 more points for his Yellow Jackets. And it looks like there's a little bit of discrepancy here on score. Referee thought it was a tech fall. Score clock reads differently. I think there was an escape point that was not given. So They're trying to figure out what's going on here with the score. Not sure what they're going to decide here, trying to figure that out. Just a score discrepancy. Referee thought it was a tech fall, so he stopped the match. But if it wasn't, I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We'll see what referee Heath Gray wants to do. He's going to put him back down. So it's only 14 points. 15 is going to be a tech fall. Looks like the score is going to remain. And they'll go back to work here. Aiden Smith's going to get a chance to continue to wrestle, which is good. Briar Brooks is going to have to find a way to score again to get the tech fall. He'll go. He's got a minute and 20. He wants the fall for the team points. Obviously, this is going to be a team race. It's going to be a big deal. Choctaw pretty strong at the lower weights. Guthrie gets better as they get to the middle, upper end of their weights, and I think that's where Guthrie's going to look to make their comeback on this duel. So Choctaw really trying to get as many points as they can. Tech fall's worth 5, and a pin is worth 6, and that's what's going on here. Is Briar's trying to get a tech fall. Aiden Smith just not cooperating with getting pinned. He does not want to get pinned. He's doing a good job, so Briar Hooks is just going to get the takedown here and get the tech fall. It's going to be 5 points for the Yellow Jackets, and that's going to 21-6 for the duel. Been an interesting duel so far. Each match has been bonus thus far, moving into the 132-pound match. Not sure who the Yellow Jackets are going to bring out.
132 pounds,
And Matt Mahalik is definitely going to be wrestling for the Blue Jays. Cole Stevens is going to be wrestling for the Yellow Jackets. Nice little Russian tie bump off there for Mahalik as he goes to work here against Cole Stevens. Big time headlock by Mahalik to his back. He's got the takedown. He's got the takedown, needs this fall big time. As Cole Stevens pops out the back, no near fall given, but he gets the reversal, so it's 3-2. Trouble early. Cole Stevens did a great job not allowing his back to expose to 45 degrees at what was a deep headlock by Matt Mahalik. We've seen him pin there more than once. So now Mahalik finds himself on bottom with a minute to go. He's winning 3-2. 3 points for the takedown, 2 points for the reversal. Now he's on his feet. He gets the escape. That's going to get him another point. Matt Mahalik up 4-2 in an exciting first period with 50 seconds left to go. Double leg attempt by Choctaw. Mahalik's following here. The outside single. He's picked it up. He's got a nice pick here. He's not got the finish yet. He's got to get him in bounds. Picks up the 3-point takedown. Very slick. He blocked him. He kept his head down. Cuts the corner, just a shot reshot, but kind of a delayed reshot, and catches the ankle like a low ankle pick, and then finishes that. Nicely done by Matt Mahalik. Very slick looking, very athletic. The more Matt Mahalik wrestles, the more that we see. That was very nice. Senior Matt Mahalik now finds himself ahead 7-2 with 15 seconds left to go in the first period. Mahalik's getting really, really high here. And he likes to lace that toe and get himself in trouble. As you can see, he's still on top, but he is in trouble on top. He's in trouble here. 1 second to go. And Choctaw wanted some near fall, but they got a reversal off of that. They had him on his back. Mahalik is going to have to be careful lacing that toe. That's going to be trouble. He found himself in trouble all weekend lacing that toe. And Cole Stevens more than happy to see Mahalik put that in so he can get a near fall. Looks like we've got a little bit of blood. And holy smokes, 7-4 so far in what's an exciting first period at 140 pounds. I'm sorry, 138 pounds. You can see in the picture over there, long time Coach Jay Howard, who technically has retired, but I do not think has missed a tournament or a duel yet in his retirement from coaching, is over there on the mat doing what he can't help but do, alongside Jeremy Davenport. You can't see Jaden Davenport, but they're all over there coaching Matt Mahalik. Want to give a special shout out tonight for Crescent Veterinary Clinic for sponsoring tonight's duel. Wayne Sisk, we really appreciate that.
The Blue Jays would like to thank Wayne Sisk, Crescent Veterinary Clinic, for sponsoring tonight's duel. We appreciate all that you are doing for our Blue Jays.
Back to action here. 132 pounds. Matt Mahalik is on top. Choctaw picks down. And Mahalik now riding. He's riding high with that spiral, but he's not putting that leg in. But here is a standing. He got the reversal. Now he's getting the near fall. No near fall swipes. Mahalik's back is at 90 degrees. It's got to get to 45 before any near fall. Mahalik back on top, though, gets the reversal with his leg in. Off of that Peterson roll, he gets reversed, and now he gets back in with gets his leg back in and gets back on top. So reversal for reversal. Points changed, but the differential did not. Matt Mahalik's back on top now with the leg in, trying to Turk, and they go out of bounds. Peterson roll attempt by Cole Stevens. This kid's crafty. We've seen him hit that roll in the first period to get the reversal on Mahalik, and then there was a standing Peterson roll for the reversal again here in the second period. Dangerous from bottom is Cole Stevens. Matt Mahalik remains in control of this match as far as points go. He's up 9-6 with 1:07 to go in the second period, and he's back out. Look for him to hit another roll. He was positioning himself for a crossover Granby, and Mahalik was able to hold the hips. Didn't want to get in any more trouble, so he let him go, and we're back to action here neutral. That's going to be a point for Cole Stevens. That's going to catch him closer to 7-9 as he takes a shot. Mahalik now has his elbow deep. He's going for a short carry. Mahalik's got to stay straight in front. Yeah, Stevens was trying for that little fireman short dump. He's going to pull down on that elbow and try to dump him over. Was not able to. Now he tries for the Russian tie. He's got an underhook on his left side. Look for him to try to throw that up and catch it. But Mahalik on another ankle attack. That's the second time we've seen that. Mahalik using that length as Cole Stevens, sort of in a poor stance, puts his head down by his feet, and that allows Mahalik the opportunity to reach out and catch that ankle. Second time we've seen it tonight. Wisely done by Matt Mahalik. Picks up 3 more for the takedown. It's going to put him up 12-7. Going to work now on Cole Stevens. Cole Stevens on his belly is not going to be near as dangerous as Cole Stevens will be on his knees. Mahalik's got to do a better job of breaking him all the way down to his belly so he doesn't find himself in trouble, because when Cole Stevens gets to his knees and his feet from bottom, he is dangerous. Choice is going to go to Mahalik. He's going to choose neutral where he has had success. He's had 3 takedowns tonight from that very position. Cole Stevens still in this match, and it's been a fun one. Stevens now has heavy wrist control. He's going to try that Russian tie. And Mahalik has the far wrist. So each wrestler has each other's wrist as they scramble out of that. Mahalik pushes him down, goes for the double, goes for the go behind. Looks like a heavy head contact because Cole Stevens hadn't picked his head up since. Referee wisely stops that match. There was some head contact. Looked like Cole Stevens took the brunt of it as Matt Mahalik went in for that double leg. Sort of the better part of his crown hit the softer top side of Cole Stevens. And he got hit on the head there and didn't move. So referee stopped that match. Awarded the points. That was due, but there was no reason to keep wrestling there until they can check on Cole Stevens and make sure he's okay. Coach is now down there coaching up Matt Mahalik. Back in control of this match. That first period got crazy. The second period got crazy again. And somehow Mahalik keeps ending up on top. But Cole Stevens has made a match of this. Coach Jeremy Davenport is in the black hat. Brother and head coach is Jaden Davenport in the white hat. These guys have done a great job here in Guthrie over the past, I want to say 5, 6, 7 years. I don't know how long they've been here. For a while, they've done a great job. I think Jaden's in his 5th season, possibly 6th. Really trying to make something of the Blue Jay program here. And you can see here they're not done coaching. They're strategizing. They got 1:30, and Cole Stevens is definitely a problem if he's still wrestling. This kid's dangerous. He's talented. He's putting Mahalik in a couple of real bad situations. Mahalik's going to have to wrestle smart to come out on top here. So Coach Jaden Davenport really trying to coach him up, make sure he doesn't make any major mistakes, try to keep him in a good spot. Looks like Cole Stevens is on his feet. He's moving around. That's a good sign. During injury time, a wrestler is awarded 2 minutes to gather their bearings, make sure they can continue to wrestle, let the coaches and trainers evaluate. Cole Stevens with the stand-up gets away. And now Mahalik. Looks like coaches might be trying to get Mahalik to get a couple takedowns to get some bonus. He's had some luck here. He's gotten every takedown of the match so far. He's going to have to get a couple more if he wants bonus. And I bet that's what the coaches were strategizing on. Like, let's forget about top. Cole's created too many scrambles from there. Let's just try to get some takedowns, maybe a couple more. We can get a major. Like I said, all these bonus wins are really going to matter here. There's the outside single. He gets 2 more, and now they're going to cut him. It looks like coaches are telling him to cut him. He needs to cut him if they want to get that bonus. He's up 10. He's up 10 points. That's going to be a major decision if he can finish here. Mahalik might be trying to go for some near fall. So he does have the major decision. If he can stay on top here. Got to win by 8. You can earn your team 4 points. We've been talking all night about how close this duel is likely to be, at least on paper. It could kind of go either way. And so coaches are really wanting that bonus. Mahalik, if he can get this half, can pick up a little bit. Looks like Cole Stevens is going to hang on here and not give up any more points. That's going to be a win for the Blue Jays. That's going to be 4 more. And that's going to put the Blue Jays 4 more points, still down 10-16 against these Choctaw Yellowjackets. As we move on to 138 pounds. Blue Jays are going to send out Thomas Jairus. Looks like Gabe Hernandez is going to come out at 138 pounds. Blue Jays are going to wrestle Thomas Jairus, brother of Matt Mahalik, who just wrestled. Going to have a similar style. Thomas, though, not near as much experience. He's done well in the duels. Got a lot of experience last weekend in Enid at that national tournament. See if he can do something impressive for the Blue Jays tonight. They're going to need a good match out of him in this close duel, as the Blue Jays are relying a lot on young talent. Normally 138 pounds will be Luke Lyons for the Blue Jays, one of their veteran juniors. But Luke is banged up a little bit from the tournament this past weekend, so he's going to set this one out and probably going to sit out the rest of the week and heal up through the Christmas break so they can have him back second semester. In the meantime, Thomas Jairus is going to wrestle for the Blue Jays here against Gabe Hernandez. Gabe Hernandez is a sophomore for Choctaw Yellowjackets. Sophomore versus freshman. I'm sorry, sophomore versus sophomore. Jairus, in his first season of wrestling, gives up the double leg take there. Nicely done by Gabe Hernandez. Thomas Jairus, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, good grappler. Came out for wrestling to see if he could try his hand and learn a little. Now he finds himself in trouble here, giving up near fall this tilt. He doesn't want to give up the fall. He's able to get back to his belly as Gabe Hernandez off to a 3-0. Well, referee's holding 4 near fall, but he's got to, as long as he holds on to that, he can't keep scoring with the same move. So when he lets go, the referee's going to award 4 near fall. There we go. There's 4 near fall. That's going to put Gabe Hernandez up 7-0 over Matt Jairus, over Thomas Jairus. And that's going to conclude the first period. As the Yellow Jackets make it going to be their call. Going to go back on their feet. And we're back to action. Thomas is going to have to figure out a way to get some points on the board. We've been talking about this all year, but this new scoring system with 3-point takedowns and 4-point near falls, really it allows for more bonus wins quicker, especially when it comes to the higher end bonus. So like the major decisions, the technical falls, they'll come a lot quicker because the points are a lot easier to get. 1 exchange is 7 points, 2 exchanges could be 14. That's huge bonus just in basically two moves. You could score a lot. Here's a double overs. He's going for basically a reverse roll here. Not good for Thomas Jairus. I'm not sure he knew what was going on here, but I can guarantee you Gabe Hernandez knew. He hit this move on purpose, and now he's got Thomas Jairus in trouble. It's basically a double over. I'm not sure what they call that hold, but I've seen it used on occasion. He just clamped down on both elbows and just rolled over top. Thomas Jairus forced to bail out now, gives up 3 more points for the takedown. He's down 10-0 in the second period with under a minute to go. Gabe Hernandez getting to work here on top now. And Thomas Jairus is going to have to seal off and start trying to work to his feet. He can't sit here. He's good to stay on his base. He's got to start working to those feet. He's doing a good job here. He's coming up to his feet. Nicely done. Hernandez follows with the half. He's got a half and a bar arm there. He runs it over. Big time half bar arm. This is trouble for Thomas Jairus. Gabe Hernandez trying to get this fall for his team. They need 6 more. Thomas Jairus trying to fight. He's got his arm loose. He's doing what he can to get up, but Hernandez will not let it go. Jairus can't shake him. He's going back and forth. He's trying to maneuver back and forth. There's 3 seconds left. He's got to keep moving. He's got to keep going. Hats off to Thomas Jairus for not giving up the fall. And man, Gabe Hernandez doing what he needed to do to get the fall. As Thomas Jairus now finds himself down 14-0. And he's going to choose neutral. And he's going to have to go for something big. Because if Gabe Hernandez scores another point, it's going to be a tech fall. Match will be over. So look for Thomas to go for something big here. Hernandez in on a low level. He changes off to a double. He picks up the 3. That's going to be the tech fall. And that's 5 more points for the Yellow Jackets. It's been a bonus-heavy night here inside the Guthrie Gymnasium. Junior high was all bonus, and now we're getting to the high school. So far, all but 1 match has been bonus as we move on to the 150-pound weight class. Preston Scott of the Yellow Jackets is going to take on freshman Aiden Harden. Preston Scott was a state qualifier last season in 6A. That means this kid can wrestle, and the Yellow Jackets are going to be trying to pick up some bonus here against freshman Aiden Harden. And Aiden, to his credit, is going to fight every tooth and nail. Kid's got a lot of potential. We're hoping to see that come through tonight big for the Blue Jays. But to work early at 150 pounds, Preston Scott. He also took 4th place last weekend at the Perry tournament. As he gets an early takedown, it's 3-0. He's going for that big-time power half on top. He's got a leg in. Now the elbow's going. Aiden Harden pushing and fighting. Two near fall. So from his back, he was able to get 2 near fall. Scores 5-0 now. And straight back to legs and power half. Preston Scott going to work on top here. Trying hard for that half Nelson. Transitions into a cradle. He's got this locked up tight, but Aiden Harden fights it off only for 2 near fall. Good job, Aiden Harden. Fighting hard here from bottom. Doing what he can to stay busy. Peels the hand. Doing a good job going right back to his base. He's allowing those legs to come in a little easy. It's Preston Scott happy to put that in, but Aiden's got him on his hip. He just can't roll over. He needs to stay to his belly. Preston's going to look to force this power half on that far side like he is. He's going to try to pick up this fall. Aiden twists it up, able to twist out the other way. Now he's got caught on bottom. This is a little bit tighter. Aiden's in trouble, gets the reversal, ends up on top. Nicely done by Aiden Harden. Do not count this kid out. Doing a good job fighting from those positions. Aiden likes to run legs himself, so he's pretty familiar in those situations. And now Preston Scott tries for just a lazy roll, and Aiden Harden catches a half of his own. In what was a lopsided first period, Aiden Harden wakes up towards the end of this first period, picks up a reversal, and goes to work on top. Current score 11-2. Freshman Aiden Harden is letting everyone know that he's still in this match. Nicely done. That's the 3rd blood timeout we've had for Choctaw, which tells me these boys like to wrestle hard. We've had a couple bloody noses. This was just looks like a scratch or some type of a cut, probably from the weekend prior. They're going to have to get that just cleaned up and a little Vaseline on it. They'll get him fixed up. You can see in the camera here, Aiden Harden being coached up by the Davenport brothers. A lot of upside to their young wrestler. Aiden's only been wrestling, I think this is his 3rd season. Started late, started in junior high, has only been getting better to this point, and you've seen that upside even tonight against a very experienced, competent wrestler in Preston Scott. This kid's got experience. He's got qualified for the 6A state tournament, which is a huge accomplishment in and of itself. Placed at the very tough Perry tournament this weekend. This kid can wrestle, and Aiden Harden scoring points on the upperclassmen. Got that blood cleared up. And we're going to be back to action here in the 2nd period. Choice went to Aiden Harden. He deferred. Preston Scott's choice. He took top. He's got that leg back in. Aiden Harden now sits to his hip. He's keeping his elbows close. But Scott's going to try. He's going for the spladle now. He can roll under or he can roll back over the head for the spladle. Aiden's got to keep his knees together. And now we go for the spladle. Aiden's got to post his back arm. His flexibility is on display tonight, as most people would have been caught there on their back. But Preston Scott now is putting both boots in. Aiden's got to work one out, then the other. He's getting caught up here in these legs and can't move his hips at all. Preston Scott, though, just a hammer on top. Got both legs in, trying the half on the far side. Trying to get this fall. Aiden Harden's been fighting tough here all night as he works back through it again. But this time, Scott's going to pick up 4 near fall. It's going to put him up 15-2 as he creeps up on a tech fall. Now he goes for that spladle. And he'll try to get near fall here. He'll try to pick up the fall. Aiden being as flexible as he is, it's probably going to be hard to get the fall. No near fall. He got 1 count, but you got to get 2. Aiden probably shouldn't do this. Now he's going to go this way. He's going to go for the half here. Scott's going to try to peek back out the back. We saw this position earlier. He's probably not used to guys being this agile from the bottom position. As tall and long and flexible as Aiden is, he's pretty crafty from down here and actually pretty comfortable in these odd positions. But there's that big-time power half. Just forces it over. He's going to pick up near fall here. If he can't get the pin, not sure what's going to happen here. Going to award that. This is going to go to a tech fall. Aiden Hard, to his credit, wrestled a tough match against a very good opponent. Referee slapped the mat, but not till after the whistle blew. That's going to be a tech fall, not a pin. And Aiden Harden saved his team another point. And the Yellowjackets get another bonus win. It's going to put them up 26-10. It's been Yellowjackets all night with bonus. We're going to move on to 100 and the last match was 144. Now we're at 150, folks. I got that wrong. I think I had that wrong the whole match. I think Kristen Iverson was wrestling the last match, and I do apologize. Trying to read what these coaches have left me. Sometimes it's difficult for me to do. This is Preston Scott wrestling against Colton Stevens. Colton, making his debut, was on the football field up through this past Saturday. The Blue Jays made the state finals on their football team in 5A. And Colton just now getting on the mat. They said, congratulations, you made varsity, and we're going to throw you out there after one day of practice. So Colton's out here green and raw as he can be, up against Preston Scott, who is state qualifier as a freshman. Now in his sophomore season, this kid is hammer. He's not just a good one, he's going to be a great one. Colton finds himself on bottom now, down 3-0. Choctaw working the inside bar arm, gets it back to a hammerlock. He's got it on his back, and now Clayton has got to get to his knees if he can. There's a lot of pressure on top. Preston Scott doing a good job keeping pressure on top. He's going to try to run. He's going to try to hook under that arm and grab the wrist in what's called an air force. If he can grab that, Colton's going to be in a lot of trouble. Colton does a good job sealing that arm off and not letting it happen. He's got to get his hips up if he can. He's doing a good job posturing away. He's got to block that arm. He's got to try to get to his knees. If you get to your knees, all this chicken wing stuff, it all gets looser and harder to pull off. It's not impossible. It gets harder. See, he's got the far arm. You can see it in the camera now. He runs around. He's got this Air Force. This is a pin hold, and it's tight. Yeah, once that gets locked up, there is not much you can do. Really, the fight has to start. You know, you got to block it off and stay out of that. You can't let him get your arms. And to his credit, Colton did a good job fighting there. Preston Scott showing why he is such an accomplished wrestler. 157 is our next weight. Folks, I'll try and do a better job of keeping on top of these names. Got a lot of stuff written down here from the coaches, and I am not doing a very good job. I'm not doing a very good job deciphering the code, if you will. Up next for the Yellowjackets, Garrett Williams at 157 pounds, taking on Blue Jays' Trevor Graves. Well, Garrett Williams got quite a bit of height on Trevor Graves. Not sure how tall he is, but very tall for this weight class, I can tell you that. Trevor takes a long double leg shot. Normally likes the low levels, but those ankles were a long way away. Trevor now battling in here for this single leg. He's going to keep trying. Gets dropped to his belly. It makes it real hard, and you can see the length now of Williams. Catching around. He's picking up this cradle now. This is tight. Graves has got his inside arm up, so his shoulder's off the mat. But, man, this length of Garrett Williams, very handy on defending takedowns. He's done a good job there catching that cradle. And now he's working this half. He's got to post his head. He's looking up now. And there's the fall. That is 6 more points for Choctaw. All bonus tonight for Choctaw. They have looked tough on top from the get-go. This is a pin-heavy crew, and they are doing well tonight in that area. We're going to move on to 165 pounds. Where Clayton Carey of the Blue Jays is going to take on Jory Garrett of the Yellowjackets. Clayton Carey caught underneath here in that. As he works out, gets the underhook. So Jory Garrett is the wrestler here at 165 pounds. Jory is a senior who took 4th at state this past year. This kid's good, throws a headlock, trying to roll through it, but not quite. Jory Garrett's got this headlock tight. And Clayton Carey finds himself on his back against the senior, who also took 3rd at the Perry tournament last year. This kid can wrestle. And Clayton Carey up against it at the moment. Clayton, one we're hoping to get on the podium this year, but he's got to get out of this match. He's got 40 seconds to fight here. He's got to, whenever you're kind of headlocked like this, you got to try to lock your hands, and then you got to walk and step over that top leg. And if they lean this far, you can roll them through, but this is trouble here for Clayton. His shoulders are so tight, so close. So tight, so close. He can feel it. Oh, it's tight here. That's a pin. Jory Garrett with just a basic headlock catches 6 more points for Choctaw and more bonus points for them. Looks like the Blue Jays are going to roll out. Looks like the Blue Jays are going to march out Rowan McComb to take the forfeit at 175 pounds.
And wrestling next for your Blue Jays at 175 pounds, Rowan McComb.
Gonna roll out Rowan at 175 pounds to take the forfeit. And now we're going to bump up to 190 pounds. And it looks like Bryson. See, this is where it's starting to get a little bit clever. Guthrie is going to try to march out. They've got several guys at several weights. All these guys bouncing around. Matt Loudenstagger at 190 for Choctaw. As they get to work here, size difference you can definitely see here. Bryson Hall, the smaller athlete, just won the national tournament in Enid, the Mid-American Nationals, last weekend at 175 pounds, having a stellar year so far. Bryson is a senior going up against senior Matt Loudenslaughter of the Yellowjackets. For Bryson to feel things out here and then get to work as Loudenbacker's heavy on his ties, heavy on the head. Bryson also wrestled 190 pounds at the Yukon tournament, the Open tournament, where he took 2nd place. Got up against another state placer at the weight above him and just wasn't quite able to make things happen. Just lost a close decision there. So 190 pounds he is familiar with. Definitely got the strength for it. Matt Loudenslager. Doing what he can to keep Bryson off of him. Not a lot of action so far. Both guys feeling each other out. Inside ties. All looking for his underhook. Getting his fakes going. Down around 30 seconds. One of these guys is going to need to score. Look to score. Loudenslager tried the underhook. Hall with the pass by to the snap down. Look for him to try to score here. The go behind. Very good from that position. Bryson Hall, very good with just a snap down go behind. We see him score there all the time. Able to make that work this time. Matt Loudenslager on bottom of Bryson Hall, who has been a hammer at times when needed. So look for him to finish this period out on top. And the coaches are going to have to make a decision. They're going to want to see some bonus out of Bryson if they can. But I got a feeling Benny Coleman's Matt Loudenslager has something to say about that. 3-0, Bryson Hall finds himself up against Choctaw's Matt Loudenslager. Going into the second period, Guthrie's choice going to go down. Choctaw's on top. And we are back to action. Hall seals off, post for the stand-up, gets to the quad pod, back to the hands. Taking his time here as he gets the escape. Classic Bryson Hall. I cannot remember the last time I saw him on bottom for more than 10 or 15 seconds. Kid's tough on bottom. Always has been good at getting out. Back to work on the fakes. He saw success there earlier. Fake snap down. Now he goes for the big snake, and he catches him on his back. Bryson Hall now looking for that bonus. Looking for that bonus. He's got this tight. Loudenslager arching hard, trying to get up. There's the pin. Bryson Hall, the senior, comes through and gets some much-needed bonus for his Blue Jays. It's going to be 6 points for the Blue Jays. It's going to bring them up 22-44. Next match at 215 pounds. Blue Jays are going to march out Roston Usselton. To pick up the forfeit. And now the final matchup. It's going to be heavyweight. Where T-Powell, Tyler Powell, is going to take on.
And up next at 285 pounds, wrestling for the Blue Jays, Tyler Powell.
He's going to take on Caden Stitt of Choctaw. Caden Stitt was a state qualifier last year at heavyweight. He bounced back and forth between 215 and heavyweight. Found a lot of success at both. Ultimately decided to go to heavyweight. Put on some size this summer. He's a 240-pound heavyweight this year. Looking to try to get a medal at 6A state. And he was a Perry runner-up this past weekend. Lost a close decision in the finals. As T-Powell for Guthrie goes for big time here. Holy smokes, Tyler Powell doing what Tyler Powell does. Goes for a Peterson and catches Caden Stitt on his back. And now Stitt back to his feet. Nine-point deficit, and Tyler Powell gets right back in this thing. Tied up now 4-4 as they exchange takedowns, reversals, and all that good stuff. Still trying to figure out what the score is here. Should have been a three-point takedown for Stitt and an escape. A reversal for T. Powell. So it should be 4-1. Should be 4-2. Stitt with a takedown and an escape. T. Powell with the reversal. Takes a nice shot. Got in deep, but Caden Stitt showing why he is a state qualifier. Now, Stitt goes to work on top here. Good squash going for that half. Choctaw has been tough all night on top. These inside wrist bar arms, they've been riding hard. Tons of bonus. This is a bonus-heavy team. As they finish out this first period, Caden Stitt finds himself in the lead 7-2 over Guthrie's Tyler Powell. Choice goes to Choctaw. They are going to defer. T. Powell's going to go back on bottom where he is so dangerous. Remember that first period, hit that roll, that Peterson roll. Caught Stitt on his back. Look for him to try something crafty like that again. As T. Powell works hard for his feet. Working towards his feet. Stitt doing a good job with that spiral ride. Gets him down. Got the hammerlock back on his back. It's Choctaw hammerlock. We've seen it end in an Air Force twice tonight. As he reaches over, going to hook onto the arm, going to hook the back arm. Now look for him to catch the half on his way around. We've seen this work all night. If he gets this over, folks, it's going to be tough for T. Powell to get up. These are tight when they get there. T. Powell fighting hard not to go, but Stitt got that neck, got it tight. He's got it tight. This is hurting bad. He picks up the fall, and that's going to do it as Caden Stitt picks up another 6 points for the Yellowjackets. And tonight, the Choctaw Yellowjackets defeat the Guthrie Bluejays 50-28 in this home duel. Hats off to the Yellowjackets. Very good on top, very bonus heavy. As head coach Benny Coleman always shows up prepared and ready to go. A big-time 6A powerhouse school, as it showed tonight. Blue Jays had a lot of good showing, several good matches, but the bonus from those experienced wrestlers just ended up being a little bit too much. And we conclude this duel. Folks, I'm going to switch over and see if we can't track down a couple of interviews, our wrestlers of the night. And we'll have a quick, brief meeting with Coach, and then we will get out of here. Want to thank the Choctaw Yellowjackets for showing up tonight and coming down here before their trip to Reno tomorrow. I'm going to take a quick break here, and I will pick back up shortly.
The Guthrie Bluejays would like to thank one last time Wayne Sisk and Crescent Veterinary Clinic for making this duel possible tonight and for sponsoring our Guthrie Bluejays. I want to give them a shout out and thank them for all of their continued support. Thank you guys for showing up. Thank you, Choctaw, for making the trip down to support your wrestlers. Guthrie will be wrestling in Mustang tomorrow on Thursday night. Check us out on the GMP Network. If you cannot make the trip, we will be live there.
Yeah, thanks, Chap.
All right, Guthrie Bluejays were defeated tonight by the Choctaw Yellowjackets. Choctaw powerhouse in the state of Oklahoma for years, 6A school. Not too long ago were the dual state champions. Have a stacked team again this year. A young team, but a very impressive young team. Big time on bonus. Choctaw, I would call them the Yellow Jacket Hammers on top. Did a nice job from the junior high all the way through the high school. That top position, yes, they claimed takedowns. Yes, they put themselves in position to be good on top. But, man, when they got on top, they took care of business. And really, a couple of the Guthrie wrestlers that were able to survive bottom were forced to go on their feet, and that was definitely a tough task too. Hats off to Benny Coleman and these Choctaw Yellowjackets, and really hats off to Jaden Davenport's crew. Guthrie Bluejays were up against it tonight. We have a young crew as well, and tonight just a little bit outgunned in some of those younger matches. Our seniors did a nice job. Thanks, guys, for all the help. Our GMP crew was here tonight. Lance Evans was on the camera, doing a great job as always. Connor Phillips was over here helping run the score clock. Lindsey Silvas was on Ox. And, of course, I'm Sean Silvas here on the And of course, as always, I'm on here trying to entertain you guys on the call. But anyway, Yellow Jackets of Choctaw did a great job tonight, and our Blue Jays just up against it in a lot of positions. Nothing that was terrible, just a good matchup to have early in the season. Some things we need to work on bottom, which is going to be obvious, but is also going to be good for our team to get this experience. Last weekend, a lot of good experience from the Enid tournament, and then tonight against Choctaw, a lot of needed experience. Thursday night, we're going to be moving on to Mustang, another stacked team, and we're going to get a lot of good experience there. We're going from a national tournament to 2 6A powerhouse schools all in a row leading up to Christmas break. Not by accident, Coach Jaden Davenport is trying to prepare our team for the 5A state tournament, and this is the perfect time to get this kind of competition. We started off the dual season with some confidence building type duels. We go into this Enid tournament, we get a ton of experience, knock off these or compete against these 2 powerhouse 6A schools, and then we'll go into Christmas break with just a laundry list of things that our team can be working on moving on into next semester. So a great outing by our Blue Jays. They did a good job fighting, a good job battling, a good job making these matches just, I guess, learnable, I guess is a way to put that. But they have done a great job. Just want to give a hats off. We had a lot of fun. Famous people in house. We got some All-Americans. We've got some Hall of Famers from the University of Central Oklahoma. Dave Stitt is over there. His son wrestled at heavyweight tonight. I've seen several of our Guthrie alumni coming back. Of course, Benny Coleman, he's a wrestler in his right. Matt Grice, OU wrestler, was here tonight for Choctaw. So a lot of big name guys showing up in the Guthrie Gymnasium, and that was a lot of fun, folks. I am going to put pause on this broadcast for just a second as I go and try and find Coach Jaden Davenport, and then we'll get us hopefully a wrestler to interview as well, and then we will go from there. All right, folks, you know what? Coach Jaden Davenport's down there visiting with his team, and we're going to try to get out of here at a decent time tonight, so we're going to skip that interview. We will be back at it on Thursday night in Mustang, where the Guthrie Bluejays are going to go down there and try their hand at another big 6A school. For Lance Evans, for Connor Phillips, for Lindsey Silvas, for Sean, I am Sean Silvas. We are live on the GMP Network. Want to thank all the guys for helping make this possible, for all our sponsors for putting this duel on, for Crescent Veterinary Clinic and Wayne Sis, for those guys that are always supporting our Blue Jays. Guys, thank you for tuning in. We'll be back at it 6 o'clock on Thursday in Mustang. Go Guthrie.